Hello and welcome to Lawful Stupid RPG, the home of the Obsidian Toothbrush. It's just like a regular toothbrush, except it's -2 to hit and -1 damage. Today is Sunday, which means it's Dark Sunday and time for some advanced Dungeons & Dragons courtesy of the Dark Sun campaign setting. In addition to our Dark Sun game, we're also running some 5e here at LSRPG. Monday, the Trapped at Home crew are playing Descendants of Avernus, which is like a mini campaign spin-off of Descent into Avernus, because 2 of their players are a bit busy for 18 years. That's at 6 p.m. EST. Friday, Missed Opportunities are doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. That's also 6 p.m. EST. And Saturday, Cold Hard Witch are trying to find something that rhymes with Frost Maiden, and that's at 7 p.m. EST. We have also partnered with the very cool people over at the Swords and Sandals Discord server. Hello. They're dedicated to developing and running Dark Sun games for 5th edition D&D. So if you have a hankering for some Dark Sun 5e action, mosey on over and join the fun. And you can type !sandals into our chat right now to see a link. If you want to spend some bits and donate to our channel and award the characters all sorts of goodies, you can do so by donating some bits. They'll get healing potions, inspiration dice, a super rare figurine of wondrous power called the Exploding Baboon. All the information is in the panel down below the stream. You can also join our community on Discord and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and www.hotsweatydesertaction.com. Big shout out to the people on the Dark Sun Reddit. If you're joining us from there, hello Redditors, hi, and a huge thanks to the mods who have been super supportive there. You rule. On Wednesday, we have our next Dark Sun blog going up. Something about alchemy, maybe? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And on the Friday after that, this episode goes live on YouTube. Right, I am Mark, your kind and generous Dungeon Master, and if you're sitting comfortably, I'll begin. Our tale continues with our heroes now in the decadent city-state of Tyr, having left the dwarven village of Cled behind. Tyr is currently in crisis because its ruler, Kalak the Tyrant, is pouring all the city's resources into building an enormous ziggurat. Don't ask why, you really don't want to know. But not to put too fine a point on it, the city-state of Tyr is a bit fucked. The party's time in Tyr has been largely uneventful. I mean, yes, they did lose the sword of Camelot at the city gates. And yes, very shortly thereafter, they were blackmailed into serving the Lady Chirodius, one of Kalak's Templars. And yes, I suppose, technically speaking, they did get into an argument with Verassi of Minthor, which led to a huge fight in Shadow Square and left one of the party dead, another 2 enslaved, and the others fleeing for their lives. But I mean, do we really have to quibble over such minor details? As we rejoin our companions, they are recovering from a small slave revolt that they might have accidentally started when rescuing their 2 enslaved companions and inserting a secret wizard spy into the slave pits. They have also been joined by some new friends, a slightly emo half-giant called Urgos, and a terrifying 3-queen called Tik-Tik-Ha-Ik. Oh, and there was something about a conspiracy to assassinate Kalak too. Let's see what hijinks ensue, shall we? No, Dwarf, it won't be an 8-hour stream. Matthias. In the Sweetwater Inn, you sit in the room that was assigned to Nissa, looking over her belongings. Stuff that was just left here, abruptly, abandoned. Some Zatal feathers that she was planning to trade. Dust goggles. So abrupt. So final. And if what you've been told is true, her ashes are now helping mortar the ziggurat. It's a shuffling noise behind you.
Oh no!
And you can see Urgos awkwardly squeezing his way through the door.
You okay, Urgos?
Urgos okay? You sad?
Yes.
Hurt on inside?
That I am. She was my only friend until recently. I pick up a towel feather and think about tying it into my hair, and then realise it's all been shaved off.
August reaches out an enormous, meaty hand and places it on your shoulder. You have new friends now, little buddy. You have family.
That I do. I smile at him.
He smiles back. It's not really a pleasant sight. That's the thought that counts.
Oh, you're missing a couple of teeth there, buddy.
Yeah. I'll go sell them.
A good choice. If you need the money, I have money for you if you need any.
Maybe. Ergos not good with money.
I'll pick up Nissa's old pouch. Like maybe the one, an empty one that was there. And
Yep.
I'll put 10 ceramics in there for him and keep this close to you. Don't let anyone take it, you know. It'll buy you some
holds
food.
it between two massive fingers. Matthias. Thank you. And he kind of comes over and smothers you in this enormous, sweaty, half-giant hug.
A pleasure, my friend. A pleasure.
Pleasure. Come, they're fighting outside.
Oh, training.
Yes, training. Yes.
I'll go to head out. We've just had some donations if you want me to do them quickly.
Yes, please do.
A big thank you to Durhaz for 300
Again,
bits.
Thank you so much.
And also, so I'll roll that one first. This is for a D6 inspiration that has to be used on the day. And that goes to Caridias, but we don't like her, so that will go to Ra.
Oi!
Yeah.
I'm joking. And on top of that, massive thank you to Goose as well for 500 bits, which is a healing, not a healing fruit, a D20 inspiration. And let me roll for that now.
Me.
No, not you. It's Tick Tick for a natural 20. So thank you very much, guys. You're very, very, very generous.
Thank you. Super cool. I should make sure they have to use them.
Yeah. The D20 can be stored, but you can only have one at a time. D6 has to be used today.
Good man, Goose. Good man, Durhaz. Thank you very much. Outside, Matthias and Ergos, as you head out, you hear the clash and clatter of obsidian, wood, Githka blades, and indeed in the courtyard of the Sweetwater Inn, Ra, Constantine, and Tick Tick are going through their paces. Methods of attack, retreat, block, defense, chat-ka-chow whirling around the courtyard. On the porch below, Herodias has arrived. Her two elven bearers are on the far side of the courtyard, lounging against her sedan chair while she sips her morning tea. Bengal is sitting on the edge of the veranda, occasionally throwing things at Tick Tick when he thinks the queen isn't noticing. Somehow, maybe because of his giant compound eyes, Tick Tick always manages to catch him at the last second. Through the gates walks the familiar figure of Malanda, your contact in the Veld Alliance. She had sent word that she'd be coming here to see you in a day or so. These are all appearing on Roll20, by the way, Lee. Better to come to where you are than risk exposing the Veld Alliance safe house by having half a dozen heavily armed warriors, Kreen half-giants, traipsing through the warrens. And her shock of blonde hair tied back from the morning heat, she comes and sits herself down on the breakfast veranda next to you, Herodias. Nods her head in welcome. My Lady Herodias.
Melanda.
I'm glad to see you and your companions all up and about.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping yourselves nicely honed, I see.
Indeed.
I will wait until they are finished with their practicing before I explain the matters that have brought me here. There is a matter I wanted to talk to you about.
Right.
Etheros.
Yes.
You took his body.
Yes.
His belongings.
Yes.
He had excerpts from the Scroll of Thalam upon him. A dagger belonging to his family. His family don't know about the scrolls, but when I brought his body back to them, they were quite distraught to see his dagger was missing. Would you know anything about that?
I will see what I can do.
You will see what you can do. What does that mean?
That I
Do you
have
know
to see
anything
what-
about where his belongings are? You took
No.
his body, you returned them to me without them.
Yes. I didn't want any
Where are they?
identifying. All the equipment of the two people are either still on the battlefield or are in a pile at home.
I understand this might be a difficult concept for you, but can you give me a straight answer, please? Do you have his belongings?
I will see what I can do.
So that's a no then. No to a straight answer.
Yes.
You can see her jaw tremble. Is there any reason that you think it your right to keep this man's belongings from me? That they might be returned to his family?
I needed the belongings to make some things sure before we went ahead with this.
You needed his family dagger and a scroll that you can neither read nor make use of to make things sure.
Yes.
What things?
Well, for one, I made sure to see whether the body of our commander was well taken care of, and thankfully he is. But of course, burying Etheros on the farm outside of... I hope that they don't have anything on him that they might use the same thing to identify.
She leans forward. I want those returned to me at your first opportunity.
Sure.
Not I will see what I can do. I want it done. Further down the veranda, Caridius's small halfling slave, Thibaut, has spent the morning shuffling closer and closer to Mungal, and now sits there, smiling up at you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Yes. Hello.
What you doing?
Throwing rocks at a giant lizard. Not a lizard. What is he? Bug.
Is it for queen?
Yeah, bug. That's what I meant.
Bug. Have you, Did you... Mistress says you used to be a slave.
That is true, yes.
You're not a slave now.
No, not anymore.
What happened?
That is a good question. Well, my owner, she died unexpectedly, and
Ooh.
well, were it not for my companions here, I would still be in slavery.
Were you always a slave?
Not always, no.
So you've seen the forests.
Yeah, I've seen them.
What they like?
There's well, there's a lot of the color green, actually, which you don't get
Green.
out here, but it is beautiful.
There's some green. Mistress has some trees in her garden.
Oh, nothing like the forests.
I heard the forest has 20 trees. No, 30 trees.
Try millions.
There are not that many trees on Earth.
Well, I guess you'll have to see it to believe it.
You think I can?
Well, you're only young, you know?
Mistress says I have to stay here with her.
Let me give you some advice, right? Your mistress isn't the god of your world.
Though she says I'm her baby.
Well, she might see you like that, but at the end of the day, you still pick up everything after her. That's not what a baby should do.
The elves pick some things up as too, Tibo says, pointing toward the 2 elven slaves, who appear to be taking bets on the various training going on in the yard.
Yeah, they're slaves too. In their own way.
Oh. His little face kind of crumples. You can almost hear his brain trying to put context into what you've said. Will you take me to see the forest then?
I can't promise anything. But if I can, I will.
I don't remember. I remember the sound of birds, but that's all. Can you say something in Halfling?
Sure. And then he sort of like, he leans closer so that it's like just secret between them. And he's like, you will have a family again.
He doesn't understand what the words mean, but it sounds, obviously, like the song of birds and the rustling of trees and the chatter of water on stone. His eyes well with tears at half-forgotten memories. And he sits back and just makes fluting noises with his lips in a childlike imitation of his own tongue that he never learned to speak. In the courtyard, Tick-Tick, Ra, Constantine, back and forth over the course of the morning. Your training moves, basic weapon drills, rapid retreats, blind fighting techniques, how to not get a chat-ka-cha stuck in your ear. It's the most productive use of time.
Mark, I'd like to point out that
Yeah.
Constantine is actually also instructing Ra to listen for a thud, and randomly throughout the training, he is dropping to the ground and expecting her to at least turn or point to his body.
Okay. You can adopt Tebow if you want.
I would like to adopt Tebow. And we get a really long trench coat, and they can just be a regular youth.
Oh my god, 2 hobbits in a trench coat! It's all coming together.
Ra proves to be an able student before long, honing in upon the sounds that you're making. Her hearing obviously having compensated over the long years of her lost sight. As for the Chatkasha stuff that Tik Tik is trying to teach you, you're lucky you don't lose a hand. These things whirl like dervishes, and he just seems to catch them almost without looking. You're not even sure how he gets them into the air so fast. That's going to be a much longer road. But there is much you do not know about his people. Eventually, sweaty, or in the case of Tik Tik, your spiracles opening and closing ever so slightly more than normal. You rejoin the others on the veranda, where Malanda has arrived, having what appears to be the most awkward breakfast tea ever, with Carodius. And Ogos and Matthias sitting also, and
Tik Tik has terrible table manners.
Okay.
He has no idea what to do. His arms keep getting in the way and knocking things over.
The servants of the Sweetwater Inn, you've been here for a few days now, and are, they're used to the strangeness of your group. Some of them even manage a few smiles when they see the just complete chaos that surrounds the Kreen. The 2 half-giants, the halflings, Templar. I mean, it's just the most mismatched group that the Sweetwater Inn has ever seen. But they're being paid. No, they're not being paid. Their owner's been threatened with enslavement by Carodius, so they're just taking it in their stride. Malanda, once you've all joined her, patted yourself down with fresh towels. She draws you to huddle in slightly more closely to the table. All right, let's focus ourselves, she says. I've received word from my contact in the next highest Alliance cell. And she brings, they bring both troubling news and fresh orders. The news concerns Faldar. You inserted him into the... and she stops to right her cup again after Tik Tik knocks it over. You inserted Faldar into the slave pens. He was supposed to have sent word. He hasn't. I don't know whether this means he's been exposed, whether he's not been able to reach the people he wanted to reach, whether he's been forced to leave. But if it was that, he would have... We need to find out what's happened. But that's actually almost not as pressing as my contact's direct instructions for what they need us to do next. We need to steal the plans to the ziggurat. My contact tells me there has been some worrying reports of some of the materials that are being used in its construction. And they need to know the truth. Faldar is in the pens. Etheros is dead because of my misjudgment. And, well, you're the only people I can turn to. Now, if this is not something you wish to still be associated with, and I after what happened at the slave pens, I would understand.
Where clans?
They are in the High Bureau of the King's Works in the Golden City.
How get there?
What attempts have you made so far, do you know, to get a hold of these plans?
Attempts how? I am one woman, and I do not have access to the High Bureaus.
I was talking about the other cells. They gave you an order, but did they not try it themselves?
I don't know.
I didn't arrive in this situation with you people out of nowhere. I was told of this, so I'm presuming that higher up in the organization, people have contacts with the Templars as well. Did they try obtain the plans through them already?
I don't know. That's how the cell structure works. I'm the only person in our cell who knows who our contact is. The others have a code name. And I'm the only person in our cell who receives information from on high. Without this structure, the Alliance would have been rooted out before.
I can see what I can do to see what progress we can make on those plans.
If there's only you left, how do they expect you to get these plans?
Well, they know that I have... They know that I have Corodius. And they know that I have you.
So you don't know about their cell, but they know about your cell. Interesting.
Information flows upwards. Orders flow downwards.
Okay.
I don't want you tackling this alone, Corodius.
Well, if we are going to obtain them illegally, then I will not be alone, no, for sure. But if we are to make subtle inquiries, then maybe I should go first and see what comes out of that.
If something goes wrong,
then you will not be compromised, and it will be just me dead.
If something goes wrong, I want to spread our chances.
Right.
I want you to select 1 or 2 people and take them with you, under whatever guise you deem necessary. But that doesn't explain the other matter either. We need to find out what's happened to Faldar. And my previous plan of disguising ourselves as Templars and walking in the front gates, well, that got Etheros killed. I'm coming to you for help. I feel like I've already failed. Now, the last thing I want to ask of you, especially of you, Matthias and Constantine and Tik-Tik, is to go back into those slave pits. But we need to find out what's happened to Faldar.
Who? Faldar.
That's what we were doing when you made your breakout. That's why we had to wait before we could flee. He's my other cell member. He's in the cells, trying to make contact with some gladiators.
I gladiator.
By round, that could mean something. Did you make any contacts in the slave pits at all? Any way that you could get back in there, or someone you can reach out to? Anything?
Not really. We started to endear ourselves, I guess, to Vok, but
Ok.
there wasn't enough time while I was trying to make those connections. Your plan went into action.
By the elements, it seemed like a certain plan. I was an idiot.
Ra pats her back gently.
I have maybe an option. There is a wall around the camp, isn't there?
Yes.
Now, do we have any idea on how deep that wall goes and how high that wall is? How thick that wall is?
So, Matthias, Constantine, and Tik-Tik. As for depth, you have no idea. The thickness, though, you put it at about 2 feet thick.
We could use a burrow spell to go underneath and send some operatives underneath the wall. It's risky because you need to be sure that you end up on a place where you're not spotted by guards, and you need to start from a place where you're not spotted by guards.
They have archers up on the walls. Many archers.
So
At this point, yeah, Constantine's going to draw out the map he had before of this is where they're stationed. This is where...
Okay.
This is the times that they change, so it's the best time to move in. How far does the burrow spell will it burrow? You're looking at about 2.5 foot thick wall.
Map's on Roll20 now.
Let's say we could manage 27, a little bit less than 30 feet.
So Melander looks at your map. This area here is... I don't know if that's pinging for the rest of you. This is away from the half-giant barracks and the overseer huts. There's nowhere out of the sight of the guard towers, but if the guards are looking away or could be somehow distracted, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
A logical place to go into would be actually burrowing into one of the pits. So you come out into the camp, but you won't immediately seen when you leave the burrowing.
Okay.
I have a question. Surely in these pits, I mean, do you guys farm while you're in there? Because if not, someone needs to be bringing in and out food. What if they were disguised maybe as people bringing in supplies?
From the kitchens. That is a possibility as well.
I stand out.
Yeah, I was about to say Tick may not be the best person to send in because Tick's a little recognizable. I didn't see a whole lot of Kreen in there.
Especially Kreen, his size.
Well, size and also species. They're going to see Tick and how do you explain that away? There's a lot of half giants. There's a lot of humans. The people we send in should be able to blend in.
Many drudge. Else.
I think the guards might remember me from the last time we were there.
Well, you're very noticeable anyway.
Most of them are dead.
Outside you might be, but in there you would be easier for you to blend in.
The elves tore most of the people apart outside there.
What if we got recaptured?
And then we go through the same pain of breaking people out again. This burrowing spell, is there no other spells that you can use that can contact Faldar?
No.
You could use a burrow to get in. Faldar might be able to get you out if he's still alive. Or like Tick says, you could allow yourself to be recaptured. Use a burrow to get you out at an appointed time.
No, I'm sending people in with a barrow. I'm not sending anybody out. I'm not coming with.
You can't burrow in from the outside and make an escape tunnel.
No, the burrow spell doesn't leave a permanent tunnel.
Oh.
It's not like it makes a tunnel. At least I've done it only once before, but it didn't leave a proper tunnel. And it can only be done through earth and loose rock, which I believe it is. It's not solid stone on which the slave pit is. Yeah.
You're basically asking us to go on a potential one-way trip back into a slave pen.
I'm giving you a way in. I'm just providing options here.
Oh, Rodius, you're a Templar, correct?
Yes.
Why don't... I mean, I don't know how these things work, so I could be completely wrong, but what if you went in to visit? Is that something that can be done?
We've done that before. That went kind of disastrous. I'm a little bit loath to show my head there again. That place is run by the Bureau of Security, and they have a beef with me. So I'm not really happy to do that. I'm happy to provide support, but I don't want to go waltzing in. I mean, I'll have to have a story again ready why I'm there. There's no reason for me to be there. It's easier to get you guys in and you guys just behave like you're a slave because the slaves are supposed to be in there.
So then I suppose... Sorry, Matthias, go ahead.
So, do we not have any spells that can help? There must be some magics that can hide us, conceal us.
I have none.
Faldar knows the invisibility spell. I do not.
So that might be a way out.
He used it, if you remember, to hide himself.
He did.
Can he use it on multiple people?
If he has time to prepare it, yes. He is no master, but he is no apprentice either.
That could be a potential way of getting out.
Don't want to rely too heavily on it, though, in case he's not there anymore.
If he's not there, then I'm looking at ways of getting everybody out through other means. Gladiators could get out to serve in the arena, so that's one
three
way.
Of us. 3 of us already.
Yeah, but we can't send Tick in too noticeable.
Well, then 2 of us.
You just bumbling into the populace, that's one thing. Tick randomly appearing is going to be another.
No,
And
but-
I don't want to make a big stink about us reappearing. Remember that there are some people on the walls who did exist there. They did see Tick charging and killing guards. It could be death on sight.
Mm.
So, perhaps then, Tick, perhaps you present yourself as a mercenary or bodyguard to the Lady Corodius.
This is what I was thinking.
Accompany her to the Golden City. The half-giant as well, if you would like to keep her away from the pens. Matthias and Constantine, do you have the heart to take yourselves back into that place?
Of course, it'll be fun.
There aren't a lot of options available to us. Although if things do go sideways with Valk, I would actually rather have Ra, because she could go toe-to-toe with them, whereas the rest of us are going to have a little bit of issue completely unarmed.
Let's stick together.
I know Vok Teresh by reputation. He has become a cruel man.
So then the logical thing, if you want also to have the gladiator way out, would be that Dwarf, Bengal, and Ra go into the camp, and that Tick and Matthias accompany me.
Matthias, forgive me if this is indelicate. You are a bard, are you not?
I am.
If subterfuge is required to obtain these plans, that makes you a good choice for that, no?
Of course. And then I was trying to think of where I could apply my skills in the slave pens as well. But I agree.
I think, yeah, we can also.
Hello,
I suppose.
Finish. Hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello, Peter.
I suppose we can also do these things consecutively. We don't have to do it at the same time. I'm looking at Melanda. What are we? What kind of time constraint are we under here?
With Faldar, we are 3 days behind schedule already. He was to have had words to my contact already.
Who's your contact?
The plans. Her name is Amber. Her code name is Amber. It would not be sensible for me to give you anything beyond that.
Okay. The plans. You're talking about your contact with the higher up circle.
Yes. She is supposed to have received information from Faldar regarding the gladiators, and I am supposed to provide her with plans for the ziggurat.
And she needs them both now. So
she needs word from Faldar yesterday, or the day before.
So there is no room for us to do it these actions consecutively. We should doing them both at the same time.
So then, what, you will use your earth magic to get them into the pens, and then proceed directly with Matthias and Tick?
Yes.
Urgos says, Urgos not want to go back to sleep. And
You're not coming then, Urgos. You're free.
Can Urgos stay here?
Of course.
Urgos is afraid.
So are we. It's fine to be afraid, Urgos.
do you like to take care of our kanks?
Oh, that's a very important job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ra.
It's okay. Thank you.
Well, understands.
Tick stands for no reason. We stand now?
Oh,
Ra
will then stand.
Yeah.
as well because Tick
Bengal
Tick
stands up, but it doesn't look like he's standing up.
Tibo comes and stands next to Bengal. Matthias, would you see me to the gate, please? Miranda says.
Of course.
We go now?
I will see you back here as soon as you are ready. Matthias, she walks with you, kind of her arm linked through yours, head bowed, and in a very low voice. I don't trust Herodias at all.
Good.
The reason I am insisting on people going with her is because I do not want her acting as an independent and free agent in this. Please watch her.
Of course.
And if, when you retrieve those plans, do not let her abscond with them. They must come back to our cell immediately.
Sure.
Did she say this to Tick as well?
No, it's just Matthias as he walks her to the gates.
Tick backs
Thank
away
you.
from the table.
She
As if it's
pats your hand, pulls her hood up over her ragged blonde hair, and disappears out into the street.
I'm not sure I trust you either. I'll head back to the group.
Okay. So,
Herodias looks at the returning Matthias with sphinx-like eyes.
preparations then? Sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're just scratching your head. Okay, that's fine. All right. So any preparations you need to make, or are you ready to roll out to, I believe it's the slave pens first, you were saying you were going to?
Just to clarify, who is going in the slave pens? Is it
I think you are.
me? Cool. I will then leave my armor and my weapon and things in a safe space.
I think I am too, right?
I believe it's you two and Constantine.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's Constantine,
Okay.
Bengal, and Ra.
Is
Just
there
wanted to make
any
sure.
way that obviously I think I'm going to leave all my weapons and armor, but is there any way that I could conceal my darts on my person in any way?
Given that you're not going to be searched going in,
Hmm.
if you had like a tunic over you, you could probably secrete, say, 3 of your darts across your front beneath the tunic, yes.
I will have
Cool.
my wooden swords.
Yeah, I was just like, why didn't we do this in the first place?
I mean, we're entering differently this time, you know.
As a giant, the slave smocks, right?
Yeah.
What could I conceal as a weapon?
So any size S weapon.
Any size.
S, small.
Any small weapon, size S.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said size-esque. I was like, oh.
Can you even wield a small weapon?
Don't know.
Yeah, but she's not very good with it. You know, have a
I'm probably better unarmed.
just thwacking people.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave my stuff then.
You won't need to fight anybody. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I've only got one thing that's
Okay.
sizeless, which is my short sword, but that's it.
Okay, so you're gonna like have three darts up your shirt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any part of the armor that I can wear under the smock and it be concealed, I might do that. But I don't know if that's possible.
Breastplate, you could probably fit under that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'll put that on then.
Points of armor. Okay.
So the only thing I can't hide under this thing right now is my bow and quivers.
Yeah.
Well, I can, depending on the size of your weapon, I could always hide your weapon.
If you've got like a short sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, short sword and dagger he has going in, and his...
As Blinkfing Poop says, yes. Good point.
Or just carry snacks.
Or just carry snacks, yeah.
Lots of snacks.
Okay, cool. All right then.
So wait, is Ra like bringing a weapon for Constantine? Cool. Just
can Ra hide a quiver of arrows and a longbow?
probably not.
Not a longbow, no. That's like
Yeah,
that's 6
unfortunate.
foot high. Yeah.
Then probably just the short sword and the dagger.
And probably
Up the back of
Wingal's
the-
singing
the small.
sticks too, right? Quite
No,
small.
those aren't. Well, wait, where's my character sheet?
But
Those
you're
are
small.
size. Those are size S. Yes.
Are they?
Yes, they
it's
are.
not ticked off on my character sheet.
No, that's true. Whoever did that was a smack.
Yeah, they are. Maybe. I mean, how many small weapons can you fit?
If she could fit 2 up the back and 2 up the front, like under
Right,
the smock.
so you
More
could
than that
bring-
is going to be, and any search, of course, would reveal that. But
Yeah.
if people are
Both of
searching
my
you, but
singing
then you're in
sticks
trouble.
could potentially come then, and that would be incredibly useful because that's like my main weapon.
2 up the back, 2 up the front. I'll remember that.
That's what she said. Name of
This
your
just
sex
became a completely different session,
tape.
and you have to pay extra for that.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Oh no!
OnlyFans is off the hook.
HotSweatyDesertAction.com. I told you. All right. If that's all that's necessary, then
Yeah.
cautiously, carefully, you make your way across town. As it turns out, concerns about getting close to the ziggurat and close to the slave pits are unfounded. Once you're out of the Sweetwater Inn, you can see that the city is in some state of turmoil, leaving the noble district and back toward Caravan Way, skirting around Iron Square, where the great merchant houses have their emporiums. There are people in the streets shouting. There appears to be some kind of demonstration or low-key, not quite a riot, but it's bubbling under. People outside the merchant emporium shouting, yelling, banging on the doors, armed guards holding them in place. And it doesn't take long to find out what exactly has happened. Kalak the Tyrant has closed Tyr's iron mines and redeployed all slaves and all overseers there to the ziggurat. There is an immense crowd of them milling around the brickyards outside the slave pens. The slaves being processed in huge winding queues. The overseers walking up and down, taking out their frustrations on slaves, on each other, on some of the Templars. Templars bubbling right over. This means the collapse of the city. That sentiment is clear on everyone's lips. It is the only thing that keeps Tyr afloat. It has the Tableland's single functioning iron mine. And the word is rife around the great merchant houses, most of which come from other city-states, that the other city-states will not stand for this. If Tyr will not sell its iron to Nibene, to Draj, to Ram, to Urik, the other sorcerer kings will act. More than once, what the fuck is Kalak thinking? You hear. However, this massive press of bodies provides you with sufficient cover to reach the outer areas of the slave pens. People have so much on their minds dealing with the hundreds of fresh slaves who are currently pouring into the pens that a small group like yours easily escapes notice, for the time being at least. Now, were you going to continue with your plan to burrow under from near the front to get to the bottom of the pits, come in via the rear wall, or something else?
With the influx of people coming in the front door, the back would probably be less guarded. Easier to do anything we need to do.
Yeah.
We should burrow.
Okay.
Sounds like a perfect distraction.
Okay. The madness of Kalak plays in your favor.
Are we all there?
Tick Tick and Matthias, I presume you're, unless you're coming up close, you're probably waiting a little bit off
Yeah.
for Herodias to rejoin you.
Yeah.
Herodias, you lead the other three around the back. You're just one more black robe herding slaves. One of the two of the guards notices you, but they have so much more to pay attention to down in the pits down below that no attention really is paid beyond a glance or two. Before long, you're in the cool shade of the rear wall. Runs for yards in either direction, stretches 50 feet up above. The crimson orb of Athas' sun, obscured by the towers on the wall, burgundy shadow, and a brief respite from the day's heat. And for a few moments at least, an opportunity. Herodias.
So, this spell will grant you the power to burrow. I have to send you each one through at a time. So we need to kind of figure out the right angle to hit the pits, because otherwise you're going to be stuck. You're stuck on the ground, you die. So you have...
If you're coming in from the rear, by the way, you're on the opposite side of the slave pens from the pits. That's what I asked you a moment ago. Are you going in by the pits or going in by the rear wall?
Sorry, I missed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to rewind?
Well, they can, in principle, let me see, where they come out, is that somewhere obscure if they come out underneath the wall?
Well, there's all those slave shanties around the back. You could probably...
Tic will let them know about those.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go through there and let them come up there wherever they can?
Yeah. Okay.
That's out of sight, so well.
I'll make sure that I help them get closest to an area that had the densest shanties, and maybe away from where the water distribution was.
Okay. Tick Tick points the area out, telling you under here, up there, and you'll be in a perfect position.
Right. So you have roughly just 3 minutes. That's it. After that, the spell ends. And if you're stuck on the ground, if the spell ends, you're in trouble.
Sorry, can you click on the map on Roll20 to show where we are, because I'm lost?
Here.
Oh, okay, right. That's fine.
Well, Bengal, you should go first, then Tin, and then I'll follow, just in case. We'll go in size order, in case one of us gets stuck.
Fair enough. So, do you have any tips for digging?
The spell will give you mole claws. It will allow you to dig yourself.
Right, and it's just gonna, what, carry me away?
No, you have to
And
dig.
do all the work.
You have to do the work, yes.
Will this hole still be here when we're done?
No, it will go. So
Oh,
there will not be a tunnel.
I don't understand magic. Okay.
Should I be digging then?
I think so. You will be.
Yeah, but I think we're all going to be digging.
Yeah, sorry, like out of character, I straight up thought that it burrowed the hole for us.
So did
Yeah.
I, yeah.
So that when I was like, oh, we have to dig. Oh, maybe I should be
That's why I
digging.
asked.
if Ra digs first, and won't Tin and Bengal be able to just follow in her wake?
Yeah, but Tin will offer to dig first, because if he comes out and this goes terribly wrong, they can get away.
Well, I mean, but then I have my weapons on me. I have darts with me currently, so I should go first.
Yeah, but if you pop out,
we're not going to fit through your little hole.
It's not going to matter how many weapons we have.
So there will be a loose tunnel. You will dig a hole through the ground. So there will be a loose tunnel through the earth left behind you, because it doesn't change the earth. It gives you the power to make a tunnel.
Yeah, I'm okay. That's your call then, huh? Because it doesn't say so in the spell. That's why I'm like.
No, it says you can burrow through earth and loose rock. So
yeah, exactly. It doesn't say that it leaves a tunnel afterwards. So.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So if I go first, then like you two can sort of like see where I've dug and like follow it.
Yep.
Are we gonna fit?
No. Bengal has a small hole, and as he proceeds through, then Tin's hole is larger, and then Ra, of course, you have the biggest hole of the lot.
So we're gonna it's gonna basically be like.
I don't like this can be really taken out of context, and I don't like it.
Bengal, we're just not going to fit in your hole, man.
No hole fitting, please.
It's too small. I can't fit.
Is there anything they can do to loosen the hole first?
Send Ra in first. Then the others can crawl.
That would be
that's my.
Then we'll just be walking right in. It's not even going to be a problem.
Right, so
you might as well. The hole will be gaping, so you can get in.
If Ra's the only one that digs the hole, do me and Tin even need the spell?
No.
No, you can just follow behind me.
Well, let's do that then.
Assuming you just go quickly. No, that won't be necessary.
Yeah.
I will.
You just have to go through the hole and bust out the back wall. Just boom.
They do that. Yes, that's
good. Does Ra know where she's going?
Look, moles can do it. I can do it. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
I can do this.
Sure. I believe in you.
I don't, but I will for the sake of this.
You got this.
I think it's time for less discussion and more digging.
Yeah, Ra will.
Sorry, we just had to consult the player handbook.
Yeah, we're standing here next to the wall, and anytime now there can be a guard on top of that wall.
Is my mic still echoing now?
Break through.
I don't know. Try digging.
I'm going to dig right now into the shanties.
Yep.
Let's go.
So Herodias, you call upon Kalak.
Yes. Kalak, grant me the power to be the mole and be under the ground and make my path in your will. And she touches Ra.
Ra, you feel ancient, immortal energies rush into you. For a single fleeting moment, you see a pair of eyes, old and yellow, in a withered, lined face, like the ageless desert. And then, indeed, your hands sprout immense, thick, curved talons. You can almost taste the earth in your nostrils. Feel the urge to bury your hands in the ground and dig, dig, dig.
Ra, finding her new calling in life, is going to start digging.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Jack Russell Terrier. Let's go.
Like a Jack Russell Jackal, she disappears into the earth before you, pulling away great clods, yanking away loose stones down into the dark soil, into the dark, loose earth. You've never seen her move so quickly. Disappears completely below ground. Already the tunnel begins to crumble and give way. But
no, it doesn't. I go after her. No.
All right. Bengal, you leap in and follow. You can just kind of see up ahead of you. The half giant plowing a path down below the wall and up the other side. Tin?
Just so many innuendos. Just so many.
No, we don't need it. We're professional.
Yeah, he would follow in behind, and when we get to the other side, I'll immediately lead them to a more safe spot. Make it look like we have a job.
Yep. Okay. You drop in behind them. Already, Ra has reached the other side, and there is a burst now of ruby sunlight away from the shade of the wall, spilling in from the slave pits. Ra, you pull yourself out, dusting clods of earth and loose soil off you. Moments later, the mole claws vanish from your hands. Behind you, Bengal and Constantine emerge from the tunnel.
Are we in the right place? Did I do it?
Tin, you are right behind the slave shanties. And
Yeah,
for
you did
Ra and Bengal, now the stink hits you. Coming into Caravan Way was one thing, but here, sweat and human filth, desperation, and an intangible scent that is the subtle aroma of fear.
Just like the gladiator pits.
It does indeed remind you of that. The stables waiting to emerge into the arena to face a glorious death. Here there is no glory. The place is brimming. It's at least twice as full as when you were last year, Constantine.
All right. I'll make my way over to the lead them to where we were making bricks before, because that's where we could fit in pretty quickly.
That's actually out on the front here, just to ping you on the map over there. See?
Oh.
That's where the work area is. During the day, of course, during the night, the slaves are all here.
Yeah, no. We're just gonna work. We're gonna work. No, that I did not. We'll work our way around the shanties. We've been there, so I kind of know how to act to.
Yep.
Making myself look smaller, kind of walking around. Probably like I have a bit of a limp now, like I was working. I'm overworked.
Yes.
And I'm looking around for anybody who would maybe recognize the two of these, because I don't know who the hell I'm looking for.
Okay. As you scan the pits, looking for someone to make contact with, someone who could perhaps be of use, or perhaps to whom Bagal and Ra could be of use, a figure muscles his way through the nearby crowd and shoves you. You! It's the mole, Cabric.
Do I know you?
You think I've forgotten you? You and your bug friend. You took my shank, remember?
Yeah, I have a different friend now. And he's just gonna just go, Ra?
And Ra will walk next to Tin. Hearing the situation that's gone down, she's kind of in her like tough persona, like making herself look bigger, kind of slightly tensing to show off the muscles.
Oh, dragon's sake!
So what do you have? What do you have on you this time?
Can you not face me on even grounds, little man? Always got to have someone watching your back.
That's what you should do if you're in prison. You should make sure someone watches your back, like you had your friends last time. Go back to where you're supposed to go and leave us to our business.
Or what?
I'll flex my muscles.
She'll rip off your head and leave your body over here. Nobody's going to miss a slave.
She can't even see me.
Can I flick his forehead?
Yeah.
Give me our first roll of the day, please.
I just not to do any damage. Just wants to show that she knows where he is.
Yeah, use your unarmed combat, but not to do any damage.
Okay.
No, at least be non-lethal damage. Like give him a big headache.
It just sends him flying.
Explodes.
Unarmed. 17.
With a roll of 2.
Yeah. Half chance are pretty wild. Okay, yeah, you reach out and take a swat straight at Cabric. And indeed, your finger knocks his head back.
You were saying something about her ability to see you.
Listen, He steps forward, but not too close. I know what you did, yeah? I saw you a couple of days ago leading a charge out those gates. We'll see who else remembers that, shall we? He turns around and starts to back his way back through the crowd. You can see him kind of looking for, who knows, a guard, a Templar.
Great. We've already made enemies.
Is he
We
gone?
already had enemies. We didn't make anything new. Do you know what
Has he
this guy looks like? Whoever it is we're looking for?
I presume you're looking for me, a voice says. And you recognize his voice and turn to see the familiar features of Thalbar. He has a large cut across his forehead, dried blood down the side of his face.
Damn, what the hell happened to you?
I'm a little out of my element here. What? Did Melinda send you in to get me out?
Yeah, well, she sent us in to make contact. Make sure that you were alive.
I'm alive, but I've not been able to... The gladiators, they won't take me seriously. I tried to... They did this to me. They said next time, it'll be my eye.
We have two gladiators
Gladiators.
with us this time.
You've got two seasoned professionals with you now. We'll get them to talk.
Who have you made contact with that told you?
There's a woman. Her name's Lisan. She thinks I'm some kind of Templar agent or something. You know, I just appeared in here after all that ruckus at the gates the other day. No one trusts me.
Well, maybe you might have to do something to prove that you're trustworthy.
All right. What do you suggest?
Guys.
I don't know how to get
I mean,
in good with gladiators. I'm not a gladiator.
all I can think of really is maybe if you introduce us to them, something like that. Or if you show, well, I mean, if you sort of prove to them, if you show off to them that you are friends with the great Min and Max, perhaps they might look at you differently.
Who are Min and...
It's an assumption that people here know who Min and Max is as well.
Well, they know the name, if not the faces.
Maybe we don't want to announce who we are too greatly. We don't know whose ears are listening.
Well,
Remember,
we know
we're all-
it will be the gladiators, which is what we need. We need them to listen.
If you must. I
Right.
just advise against too often.
If you have another
throwing
plan, tell me.
I would have said maybe fight one of them. That would have probably shown dominance that you are who you are. A gladiator.
True, but
they don't care
him
which gladiator.
Fighting against a gladiator is not going to go well. He'll get killed straight out.
No, we just need to get close enough to them to find out what he would have to do to prove that he's not a Templar agent. He doesn't have to fight them. We just need to find out what they want him to do.
Why don't we just accompany him the next time he speaks to one?
Yeah, we can do that.
That would work as well.
What? I can go now. Shit, I mean, They have those. He points towards some shanties on the northern side of the pit that are actually quite well put together. And indeed, you can see a small group of 3 or 4 fairly well-muscled and toned men and women lounging around outside. They casually have 3 or 4 extra pots of water laid out between them. If the slave pits have any top dogs, it's them. And you can see why a scrawny little fellow like Faldar didn't receive a very friendly welcome.
And
Ra will get close to him.
have you got any invisibility spells ready? Sorry, I don't know how it works.
I have one prepared. Do you mean to get you out of here?
Well, we need to leave eventually.
I have one prepared, and I can prepare more by the morning.
Okay.
But that means you spending the night here.
If that's what it takes, we can do it.
During the night, have your weapons ready.
Come on then, with me.
Lead on.
And, well, with the shadow of Ra falling across the growing crowds, you elbow your way through the groups of slaves. A small cadre of gladiators, seeing you approach, their heads kind of come up and they nudge each other. You're a few yards away when you see Kabrick reappear, and with him, Vok Toresh. Toresh has a pair of guards behind him. So, the escaped convict returns, does he?
Returns and never made it out.
Really? Why don't you and me go and talk to the Templar Overseer? And we'll see what they have to say about that. Herodias, after leaving the slave pits, you find Matthias and Tik-Tik waiting for you, back at the corner of the ziggurat.
Yes. I look at their outfit. And that will not do.
Tik-Tik's not wearing one. Matthias actually wears fairly fine clothes.
Are they looking presentable enough?
Yeah, he spent 3 days in an inn. He'll have had them laundered by now.
Tik-Tik has a pair of bandoliers, that's it. Oh, and a pouch or two.
So, well, we need to do something about your looks. We need to make it look a little bit more formal if you want to pass as a bodyguard.
He's also wearing Inix armor.
Fine Inix armor, that's true.
At ornal.
Ornamental. Something to show that you are my bodyguard. Because like this, that story is not believable. They will not believe it. We need them to believe it. She takes them to one of the tailors that she frequents and who she thinks that will actually be able to provide her with the right illusory outfit to make this a believable concept.
Yes.
And she goes there and buys a few, items which are appropriate.
Okay, so some fairly fine clothes then.
Well, I don't know. It's probably maybe some bands which look swishy or which match the color of my outfit or something like that. So.
Yes, nice. Okay. A simple sartorial upgrade then will, let's see, we're looking at a silver piece for the lot.
Sure.
I want to make sure that nothing that she puts on my body will impede movement.
I don't want to attract attention to this thing, so I'll haggle down the regular 10%.
Okay, you can make me a bargain roll for that then.
Yes.
Also, Mark,
you must be mad.
With obviously, I know with all the selling and stuff that Matthias has been doing. Are we on this? Are we on the next day sort of thing? Are we? So I would have my poisons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't need to keep looking at Faldar.
There we go. There's your roll.
Nice. Good. Done. Okay, so 9 ceramics then.
Yeah.
Perfectly acceptable bit of bargaining. And Matthias and Tik, you have a couple of little, a fancy hat. Exactly, Rainbow.
Yeah, I'm not spending too much money because, I apply the concept of less is more.
Yes.
But, the few items are key and they're for good effect. They're,
a hat that goes like this. Otherwise,
there you go.
Fuck are you even living for God's sake?
Tik does not wear hats. He has antennae. They get in the way.
We make some holes for his antennae.
There are holes in exactly. There are holes made for the antenna. So that
I am not wearing a top hat with antenna holes.
You can stay behind.
I am not Jiminy Cricket, for Christ's sake.
We'll get you a nice little
good effort, Carl.
Little umbrella.
She puts her foot down. You wearing a hat if you're coming with me.
No,
where you're going, people wear hats.
No need for green hats, but you can certainly have some kind of emblem sash, like you said, to hide the heavily armed nature of your.
Yes, a sash to cover the bandoliers. Yes, that's totally good. Cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
She
makes
the
Jiminy
Cricket eye
outfit
to see whether this actually has the right image for what she attempts to do here.
It absolutely does. Matthias looks like he's born to it, actually.
I was not worried about Matthias.
Okay. So, Herodias, Matthias, and Jiminy, you proceed then to the... Yeah, the Queen could do that with all 4 hands. And proceed then to the outer gates of the Golden City, which
incomprehensibly, I do not speak Queen. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Queen Sign Language, which of course is right here on the main map, just there. Okay.
Mark, I would like to cast a spell.
A spell? Okay.
I would be casting a reversed version of Detect Lie. Undetectable lies for 24 hours.
Okay, and this is from your ability to cast Detect Lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where exactly are you doing this?
In private, before we go.
Okay. Right, you secrete yourself in a secluded alley. Lay your hand toward the ground and feel the slow rising rush of life energy. It seems to be coming from below the ground, as if there were somehow subterranean plants not too far away from where you're standing. It's a potent push, a solid kick of life energy. Once you have enough, do you stop or do you pull some more?
I stop.
Okay.
He's not a defiler.
No,
can priests defile as well then?
No.
It's a priest spell.
Oh well, then none of that fucking happens.
Oh my god! Know your rules.
Say the name of the spell, man.
Detect Lie.
Lie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 4th level free spell.
You've got to let me know if it's a free spell or a wizard spell. Okay. The energy then comes from the elements, from the cosmos itself, should I say, not from any subterranean plants. Well, we won't see those for another couple of seasons. At the gates of the Golden City. Half-giants in mechalot armor, steel swords hanging at their sides. 2 Templars from the Bureau of Security step forward. Lady Herodias.
Good day.
Associates of yours?
Yes.
On what business are they coming into the Golden City?
Bodyguard. Obviously. I'm sure you've heard of the latest threat to my life.
There's a little kind of smile plays across their faces. We've heard that you've had a little bit of trouble, yes. And your friend here? They look Matthias up and down.
This is my new gift for one of the houses in Gulg. It's a gift from the Trade Bureau.
This one's a slave. So Matthias, your detect lie is going off almost continually whenever Herodias' mouth is open.
Yeah, the other
Oh,
thing,
sorry,
right?
you've got undetectable lie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, no. This is a hireling. You know, the courtesy gift of sending a bard. Here you go.
A bard. They both stand back at this. No problem at all, Lady Herodias. So we'll snap some fingers.
Any more interrogations, or are we finally ready to go?
The half-giant pulls the gate open. No, please go ahead.
Give my regards to what's her name? She's just such a forgettable woman. You know what I mean. Say hi to her.
Yes, my lady. Through the gates you step.
Yep.
And into the Golden City. For those of you, which is Herodias accepted, but Tik and Matthias, you've never seen this kind of wealth. Palaces, villas, gardens, openly flowing water, and rising up above it all, Kalak's golden tower. It gleams in the sun. And you've heard, of course, the stories that say the entire thing is made from gold. Yes, exactly. To say that it was a king's ransom would be vastly underselling the lucre that drips from every edifice around you. Groups of Templars walk, heads bowed, dark robes rustling, guards with steel weapons, half-giants in polished armor striding left and right, slaves sweeping the streets, making sure the fountains are tended, on their knees, keeping the verges of the gardens trimmed, carrying deliveries to and from the dwelling places of their masters. You'll wind your way through the streets, and I presume Herodias are taking them straight to the Bureau of the King's Works?
Yes.
Okay. It's a 2-story building, and in fact, where is it? The surrounding porticos, like this, beautiful pillars, polished marble floors. You almost feel the need to speak in whispers, your feet echoing in the stone, claws clacking upon it as you walk out of the sun and into the cool shade. And there she is, coming out of the bureau, just as you head into it.
Oh, God.
Darnev, you do. seeing as she's proved so popular, she has a picture now. And in fact, that's the face she makes when she sees you. And her hand
That's
just
awesome.
descends to the hilt of the sword of Camelot. From the slave pits when Miguel flips her off. Carodius.
Yes.
Some new friends, I see.
Indeed.
I suppose you're looking for a certain level of conversation.
If I were, I wouldn't be talking to you.
Oh, such wit. You're famous for it. Well, I mean, you're famous for something anyway.
I see you're coming and bring that around to the Bureau of Trade. It's that way, by the way. I'll talk to you later.
But my sword?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think
No,
so?
No, you haven't heard, I suppose. There's been a tightening of the range, shall we say, at the Bureau of Security. Since the most recent attack on the slave pens, we're on extremely high alert, and all such inter-bureau flim-flam has been cancelled.
Oh,
so
okay.
Whoever was responsible for that, you have them to thank.
Okay. I will take it to account. We'll speak later, I suppose. Toodles. The sword.
I'll be keeping this, I think. While they're having this
we'll see about that.
This little tete-a-tete. Can you roll me a d20, please, Lee?
Yeah.
In fact, there's an observation check. So
observation.
Yeah.
That means I've got to have my character sheet open. Bear with, just loading it up.
You don't have your character sheet open?
No, PC crashed and all that sort of stuff. Oh, I didn't see it.
Okay. All right. So, something else, however, does catch your eye. You're certain, on the opposite side of the street, whatever it is Darnevudine has been doing has eluded your notice. Over the road, however, you spot a familiar face heading into one of the other high bureaus.
Eye contact?
Lady Diamina of Lubar.
Guessing that's the one I was assassinated.
You do remember assassinating her, yes?
She got better.
I got better.
So we all lose 200 XP for the Monty Python, bro. It's fine. I'm willing to take it.
That's funny.
Matthias, obviously, with his floppy hat, just pulls it down slightly.
Okay. At any rate, Darnevudine, smirking deeply to herself at something that is some private joke, nods at you, Carodius. I presume you're just ignoring her and heading into the bureau.
I'm making an effort to ignore her, but at the same time, I'm quickly seeing whether anything of this was picked up by my entourage or anybody else that was looking.
No, they look particularly oblivious to what's been going on between the two of you. At any rate, the King's Bureau of the King's Works envelops you. A broad open foyer with models of various buildings and towers and edifices that have been constructed over Tyr's long history, gathering dust. One of the ziggurat, of course, pride of place, showing it in its multicolored, many-stepped glory. At the curving reception desk, a low-level Templar looks up at your approach. Milady? Yes or not?
Sorry?
Sorry, I'm just saying yes or not. You just answered me a question. My lady?
I have an inquiry to make with the High Lord Tivian. Can you schedule an appointment?
I see you haven't heard the news.
News?
High Templar Tithian has been promoted.
Oh?
He is now High Templar of the King's Games.
And that is exactly?
Lord Kalak is planning a grand melee, a great day of festivities to signal the completion, to celebrate the completion of the ziggurat. And Lord Tithian has been appointed the High Templar over the proceedings. He is still nominally, at least, the High Templar for the Bureau of the King's Works.
King's Works, yeah.
Yes, but while he assumes his new duties, High Templar Kaldon is overseeing matters here. I can make an appointment with him.
Can you make an appointment with both?
Well, I can, yes, I suppose.
It will be brief.
Very well. And he makes some notes on a clay tablet. Calls a functionary over, and there's a bit.
Yeah, it is quite urgent, and I'm sure they would want to hear from me forthwith.
Yes, not a problem at all. Please have a seat with your
Thank you.
Associates. The functionary rushes out of the reception area, heading in deeper into the bureau, leaving you alone momentarily. Matthias and Tick-Tick, when Carodius returns to you, she looks a little concerned.
Are we leaving?
Okay.
Not sure. There are some changes suddenly being made.
I've seen something as well. I think we should leave.
We can't leave.
There's someone in here that I saw not long ago.
Yes?
Who's dead. And she's now in here.
Okay, who is that?
Oh, what's her name? Lady
Diamina of Lubar.
Lady Diamina of Lubar.
Does that ring a bell with me? Is she
Lubar is an Urukite house.
She was assassinated.
What is she doing here?
She was assassinated.
She's Urukite. But she's Urukite. What's she doing here?
I think you're missing the part that she was assassinated.
Well, clearly she wasn't.
Oh, she was. Believe me.
Ah, I see. Oh, I see. Interesting. So, this Lady Diamina of Lubar, who did you assassinate her for?
I'd rather you guess.
I don't know her, so
Who usually wants their
rival?
wives dead?
So cynical.
You mean to say the husband?
Yes.
Okay, he hired you.
Mm-hmm.
And did he? What kind of orders did he give to hire to kill her? Was there specifics? Did you get specific instructions?
It's just a job.
Did you announce how you would do it? Did he wanted to know how you would do it?
At that moment, there is a gentle cough from the hallway leading out of the reception area. You can see the functionary standing there. High Templar Kaldon will see you now.
Coming. If you are to be discovered, you can hide in my sedan chair. And I walk towards the meeting.
Your companions as well?
Oh.
Follow.
Follow.
Yeah.
And so, while Bengal, Constantine, and Ra have come face to face with Constantine's old overseer in the slave pens, their incursion there moments away from being uncovered. At the same time, Herodias, Tic-Tic, and Matthias are engulfed by the masses of the Tyrian state and disappear into the heart of the Bureau of the King's Works. We'll take a break and see who's left alive when we come back. In the slave pens of the city-state of Tyr, Constantine, Bingle Bangle, Ra, face to face with Vok Toresh, your former slave overseer, and a couple of his guards. Well, Constantine, Vok says, shall we go and speak to one of the Templars and they can get to the bottom of your mysterious disappearance and reappearance?
I'm pretty sure we can work that out between all of us.
Really? Over his shoulders, you can see that the gladiators, in a kind of a loose knot, standing, watching, flexing their quads. And how do you think we can work this out?
I'm sure there's something you want. I know he wants a shiv that was taken from him by one of my associates last time we were here.
No, look, I'm just doing my place as a... Vok looks over toward Cabra as if having forgotten he was there. Shut up, Mull. And this coming from another Mull. Cabra's face reddens. But Vok, we're both Mulls. We should look out for each other. Vok's lip curls. That's what my master used to say to me. You've made your point. Now walk away while you still can. Cabrit takes a few steps back, just at the edge of a nearby knot of slaves who are looking on with some interest. Humiliation and anger in his face. Vok seems to forget about him immediately. What is it you think I want?
I don't presume to know what you want. That's why I asked. It's easier to negotiate when there's a price.
He steps forward and drops his voice. Presumably so the two guards standing behind him can't hear. How did you get back in here, Constantine? More to the point, why?
Looking for gladiators. You do know about the event that's going to be happening pretty soon.
The Grand Melee, yeah. Kalak himself is going to bless the spears of the competitors, I heard. I'm just an overseer now.
But do you want to be more?
That's why you broke back in here, is it? To lift me out of the slave pits? And...
No, to see if there were people who would want to be. But I think your spirit's far from being broken.
Is the Kreen with you?
He's not in here, but he is with us, yes.
Good fighter, that one.
Quite fond. I love his weapons.
Did he tell you why we ended up in here?
I didn't ask. That's his business.
Let me enlighten you. His clutch were killed by House Murlak. And he came seeking revenge. He killed a fair few Murlak guards before they took him down. Sold him into slavery rather than put him to death. We trained together as Murlak slaves for a year before our master pushed us too far. We killed him. And that was the end of it for us.
Doesn't have to be the end.
What can you do about that?
Give me a moment to speak with one of my associates. I think we'll see what we can do that's far less a proclamation. And I will go to our new little friend and say, how many of us can you make invisible?
One tonight, 2 more in the morning.
And if we need a 4th?
That'll take another day. The invisibility enchantment only lasts for a sunrise and a sunset.
So waves. We have to leave in waves.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
So 2 in the morning, 1 the day after. So we get... Bengal, do you want to go first?
I can, if that's the plan.
If you leave first tonight, that leaves me, Ra, and our friend here. In the morning, Ra leaves. I'll stay behind, and me and him will leave together. I stay behind as a sign of good faith, under his protection.
You're okay with that?
You're talking about Vok, Valdar says?
Yeah. We can talk to him about maybe making things a little bit easier for you before he leaves. Use what contacts he has.
You think you can get us in with the gladiators? Used to be one.
Does this work well before for what we're gonna do before I go request?
I need to speak to them.
Okay, then
without getting this done to me.
Okay, so I'll go back up to Avok and say, we can get you out of here. We'll be leaving in stages. I will stay behind. You and I are the last ones to leave. Here is the one request that we would have. That guy right there, he needs to be cool, good with the gladiators before we disappear. Is this acceptable to you?
2 things.
All right.
I don't want to leave.
Okay.
I want to fight in the arena. He looks down at the whip by his side. For a slave, this is the worst punishment they could think of. To make me into an overseer. He tightens his fist and the leather of the whip creaks. I want to fight with them. And he gestures toward the gladiators.
So you want to fight with them in here?
No, in the arena.
Then how? I'm not a gladiator, but I have 2 with me. Can you at least get us an audience with them?
Looks like you've got their attention already. And in fact, you can see there's 3 or 4 of them, kind of, as I said, standing, watching, flexing their quads. They appear to be paying a lot of attention, actually, to Ra and Bengal. There's heads shaking, someone nodding, gesticulating, pointing at them.
So I don't know the inner workings of how these pens work, obviously. How do I get you with them? Just have you added to their number? Have them accept you?
He points to the injury on his forehead. If I knew, I wouldn't have this, would I?
All right. And if we're noticing the flexing of those quads, delts, and glutes, Bengal, would you like to take our friend here with you and introduce yourselves to the glares and stares you're getting, and I will go talk to Vok.
So for those of you who aren't privy to what's going on in our private Zoom chat here, apparently Ra is making her pecs dance like Terry Crews. So
I was like, Ra is blissfully unaware about people staring, and it's just doing a Terry Crews, just flexing all the muscles, like having a good time.
Terry loves yogurt. Yeah.
Terry loves yogurt.
Terry loves quads.
And so, Mark, I think there was a confusion. I said I left after he said, "Oh, I can do that if we leave in tears." I said I go back to Vok.
Okay, gotcha.
I was talking to Vok during all that, and then you were like,
Okay.
"He's like, if I didn't get this," I'm like, "It's the wrong guy. I'm not talking to him."
Fair enough. So,
sorry, go on.
no, Bagal, Ra.
We're introducing ourselves to the other gladiators, correct?
Yes. With the other guy.
Which other guy?
Vok, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, okay. Because he wants to also be...
yeah. Vox, yeah, he's a former gladiator. He's got an overseer's leather face mask, which
Right.
as you motion for him to come along, he pulls it off, revealing a tattoo-scarred mole forehead.
Right.
As you draw near, one of the gladiators steps forward. Broad-shouldered guy with a mane of curly black hair. All right, you settle a bet between me and Lisan. And he jerks his thumb toward a woman with a shock of auburn hair. And she's got her trim on her fist. She says you aren't. I say you are. We've got a day of water bet on it.
We are what?
Min Max.
Should we tell them who we are? I don't
They
know.
are. Lisan's like shaking her head.
Okay. Ra?
Wenzer, it's just a halfling and a half giant. But look at the horns! Look at the horns!
Shall we do the pose?
If Bengal says that, Ra will very reluctantly, because she doesn't know how many gladiators there are. It's like,
So you strike your signature pose, do you?
yes.
Yeah.
What, you're like up on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, Wenzer is like, I told you that's a day's water you owe me. Lisan is like, okay, all right. As far as I'm concerned, it could be any halfling and any half giant, but if what they say is what they say, she seems about to admit what's going on when a woman with dark hair barrels into her from the side. There's actually a picture of it happening here. And starts pounding her with her fists, and has a crude handmade leather pair of bolasses, which is whacking back and forward. Lisan goes stumbling sideways. The woman, oh shit, a natural 20. The woman kicks her feet out from underneath her and has the bolas around Lisan's neck almost immediately. My partner, my fighting partner! And she starts to pull the bolas tight. I'm faster, I'm stronger than you, he's mine! Lisan is just like...
Can I do something?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, can I, this crazy fucking lady that just came out of nowhere, can I, run in and I mean, can I try and like just sort of break her grip on the thing with my unarmed combat move?
Yeah, make me a CMB check, please. Unarmed.
Where's that on the character sheet?
It'll be
CMB unarmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Bengal is on my shoulder, and
well, I've jumped down probably.
As you jump down, Ra's like, "Wait, no."
Remember, you have a D6. Is it you that's got a D6?
No, it was Chirodius and Arnell.
Okay.
Okay, so Bengal, you leap down, slam into the side of the other woman, but your smaller size and the suddenness of your attack means that you're not actually able to dislodge her from her position. She has Lisanne face down on the ground, and her knees in the middle of Lisanne's back, and kind of pulls back on the bolas. You can see Lisanne's eyes and tongue bulging out. Wenja kind of steps forward. Candler, no, leave her! Anything from the rest of you before we move on to the next round?
What?
Nothing from Ra?
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved. This is their business. If I've learned anything over the last few days, is that when stuff goes south, it's none of my business.
No, fuck that. I'm involved.
Mostly Tin's just, what the fuck?
I mean, we didn't intervene when the people were getting in the market. So I ain't intervening here.
Bengal, roll me an initiative, please, for unarmed.
Okay. All right, for unarmed. Unarmed. Should I do unarmed and unarmed offhand as well?
Which, yeah, one is enough. 4. Okay, fine. I was on a 7. So go ahead, and I'm guessing it's more unarmed CMB checks.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just trying to dislodge her basically. What do I have to hit?
You can make 2. She's got a CMD here, which is like an armor class for that. So you can make 2 CMB checks, please.
I'm just gonna ask Vok.
And another one?
What the deal is here.
I did both of them.
Oh, that's both of them. Oh, it's 13 and 21. Okay, right. It takes a couple of moments, but you actually manage to get your tiny little halfling fingers under the bolas. Well, you know exactly how to remove these things. A quick twist and a push of her chin, and Lisanne rolls to one side.
Yeah, and with that, I'm like, hey, knock it off, maybe.
And kind of stares down at you. Who in the black are you? And what did this have to do with you? Step away, short stuff. Behind you, you can see Lisanne on her hands and knees.
You might not have balls, but I'm still gonna snip you if you do that again.
To your surprise, Vox steps to your side and puts a hand on your shoulder. I'm with the halfling.
Yeah, I was going to say Ra would approach once she starts insulting and
a halfling, a mole, a half giant.
Tin steps forward. Volk stepped forward. Tin would go with him because that's who he was talking to. So,
okay. Yeah, you can see a dude at the back just kind of eating his gruel. Picture. And this guy here, Mr. Yay! Not quite sure what he's doing. The fight goes out of Candler almost immediately, seeing the opposition she's facing. He's mine. He's my fighting partner. It's not my choice, Lisanne says. Our styles just complement each other. I'm not trying to come between you. Candler glares down at her. See that you don't. And she turns and stalks away. Still on the ground, Lisanne looks up at you. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt us talking about boys.
Meh, it happens.
Well, I never thought I'd see myself saved by Bengal, isn't it?
Bengal, at your service.
So amazing they had to name you twice. She stands.
It's a family name.
Well, if there's anything I can do for you, you let me know.
Well, there might be, and I sort of look over to Constantine at this point.
We seem to have a friend here who's been trying to get your attention, and a lot of you. It hasn't seemed to make very many inroads.
She looks over to Faldar. I split your scalp open the other day, didn't I? Faldar's like,
probably wasn't the best introduction. This would be a great time to start over.
he's the one you said was a Templar plant, Windsor says. Well, he was just so eager. Who wants to make friends with gladiators?
I made friends with a gladiator. I'm not a gladiator.
We're cool as fuck. Who wouldn't want to be our friends?
What do you want, friend? Faldar looks at them. I need you to introduce me to Rikus and Neva. In the Bureau of the King's Works. You follow the functionary up the stairwell and to a higher landing with officers off one side and off the other, Carodius, Tick-Tick, and Matthias. Through an archway, you can see what appears to be an immense workshop. A scale model of the ziggurat inside. Scrolls lying on adjoining tables, measuring tools. The functionary, however, beckons you into the room opposite.
Can I do an observation check on the ziggurat model?
Yes. Give me a roll, please. That's not great.
Can I do one? Can I do an observation?
Cigarettes.
Yeah, it big model, their paper. Oh, that's nice. Matthias, if the plans are anywhere, they're going to be in there. However, almost immediately, as I said, the functionary beckons you to an adjoining chamber.
I'll go with.
Carodius, of course, and you walk. Tick-Tick, are you following her?
One last question. In the room with the ziggurat model, are there any people there? Are there any people anywhere other than this?
You can see a couple of people in one of the other offices. They actually seem to be sitting down and just sharing a small feast on a small table in between them, having some kind of break. The second office appears empty. There's a curtain drawn across it. You hear no noise from within. Third office has a fairly senior Templar inside who Carodius is going to meet shortly. The workshop appears to be empty.
Okay. Any guards anywhere?
Not on this floor, but on the landing leading up to here, yes.
Okay.
So, as I said, are you accompanying Carodius into the office?
Yes.
Matthias, are you?
Yeah, we've been asked to, haven't we? So yes.
Yes, I suppose.
Is there any way? I mean, obviously looking around. Who's watching? Is there any way I can snag the plans?
You know what? If you made me a hide in shadows roll, you could slip away from the group into the workshop.
Is that going to be detrimental though? I mean, I know roughly where they are, where they would keep. So how quick do I think I could snag them?
Well, let's put it this way: you would need to sneak into there, locate in the room where the plans are, on a table, in a box, whatever, and get them and get out again. So in theory, you could be in and out within 5 minutes.
In theory.
I'm presuming Corodius is not aware of any of this.
Corodius is not aware of the dilemma that's currently playing out in his mind. No, I suppose that's what you mean, but,
no, he'll play along for now. He knows roughly where they are.
Okay, fine, that's good. You follow Corodius and Tick Tick into the office chamber, and there the functionary nods to you, Corodius, and backs out.
Thank you.
There is a fairly broad-set fellow seated behind a desk. Hair, nothing but a small dusting of stubble. Scratching on a clay tablet with a stylus. Yes. You are Judicant Auditor Chirodius, I understand?
That is correct.
You asked for a meeting with me. This must therefore be High Templar Calden.
Yeah.
It's certainly not Tithian.
No, exactly. Yes, I asked for a meeting with both you and High Templar Tithian.
Well, Tithian's out for the rest of the day. He has, as you may have heard, a new appointment.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I'm actually calling on a conversation I had with him earlier, pertaining the logistics for the Bureau of Trade to bring in the materials for the building. And he had discussed with me that I should come back and get the plans for the ziggurats so that we can actually devise access ramps and roads to get the stuff in. But now he's not here, so I don't know what to do.
Well, do you have it? Do you have the correct amount?
The correct amount? Yeah, well,
yes or no? You either do or you don't.
Yes, I do, but they're not here yet because that kind of is dependent on the entrance points.
Look, just put it on some wagons and move it into the Golden City, and we'll have it put into place ourselves.
Oh, High Templar Tithian gave me specific instructions. Maybe you should ask him.
I don't need to. I'm his deputy. I'm acting in his stead.
Okay.
Look, do you have the obsidian or not?
The obsidian is coming. Yes.
Coming. When will it be here?
2 days' time.
That's not good enough. It needs to be here by high sun tomorrow.
High sun tomorrow.
Unless you want to be putting it in place yourself in order to adjudicate it.
Absolutely, I understand. I will make sure that it does arrive on time.
Good. Was there anything else?
Well, I need to help me expedite this. I will need the plans.
You need no such thing. You're a Templar of Kalak, are you not?
Absolutely.
Acquire it. Of the Bureau of Trade?
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious, woman. These trade routes with Smoking Mountains should have been opened weeks ago. What have you been doing down there? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Corodius. You're the one who's been making all the fuss about that black damned sword, aren't you?
Yeah, that was also something for the Bureau of Trade.
Yes, well, perhaps you should have been spending your attention on more important matters than on reacquiring some trinket to line your pockets.
That was a very important bribe to actually make this thing happen. What do you think I've been busy with all due respect? I am well aware that my life is on the line if I don't timely deliver.
Sounds to me like you've been busy with some personal feud with Templar Darneviadine.
It intersected, but not by my choices.
Tick, you're over by the door now, looking guard-like. Okay, anything from you, Matthias, while this little back and forth is going on?
It's just looking around. I keep trying to look for escape routes and looking for anything like this. Anyone hiding in the shadows,
No, but as far as escape routes go, it's fairly clear that Herodias is on the verge of being thrown out.
That doesn't bother Matthias.
No? Okay.
No, it doesn't. Thrown out of the room, in sense, but...
Out of the office.
Oh, out of the office, yeah.
Yeah, and that means also off the floor and out of the building. Get a move on kind of thing. Anyway, Herodias
Can I sneak off then?
You want to try and sneak off?
Well, he's...
Okay. Then I need a hiding shadows from you, please.
Oh, God.
Herodias is going to make it while this is happening, making an assessment on whether a fast talk would work on this man.
Well, wisdom is his prime requisite, much as it is yours.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think so. No, this is not going to work.
Is there a way of doing it, inconspicuously,
Yes, that's the entire purpose of hiding shadows.
Okay.
You can kind of maybe wait for a time when.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. So Herodias is going to need to create some kind of distraction if you're going to try and get out.
Okay. See.
I see what Matthias is trying to do, and I pretend to sneeze as a cream, just release a ridiculous amount of pheromones.
Okay.
And I go, excuse me.
Okay, so you kind of step forward. There's just like loud rasping noise and a burst of stench into the room.
It's not the bad smell. It's just a smell.
An overpowering scent. Yes.
Yes.
Matthias, you can give me another check, please.
Matthias craps himself and falls over.
Dear.
2.
Oh. Wow. One moment he's there. The next, Matthias quite simply isn't. You slip out into the hallway. And across into the laboratory.
It's got a focus. Just goes literally straight for it.
Okay.
Obviously keeping an eye out.
Yeah, you pad across the hall. Large workshop. Model of the ziggurat in the middle. Various rolled up scrolls. You can see them on the tables beside. Look at them. You don't read and write, do you?
No.
You don't have literacy, no. They're just reams and reams of numbers and letters and strange fields. None of them appear to be an actual plan of the ziggurat. Make me an observation check, please.
Observation, come on. Please be kind.
Oh my God, you're on fire. Just I'll be back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Your eyes kind of scan around. These probably have something to do with slaves, to be honest, the workforce. And then you spot it. A long, locked strongbox. You can see the small, complex ceramic lock on the outside.
I check it for traps.
Okay, you kneel down in front of the lock and begin to check with traps.
I don't think I
Back
can.
in the other office, High Templar Calden looks rather kind of bemusedly at the cream.
I look around because I'm startled by the noise as well.
He raises his hands.
Is this your bodyguard?
Yes, that's what this Bureau of Security woman has made me do.
Really?
It's not an innocent thing what she's been doing to me. Just so
You
you
don't
know.
you don't often hear of Corodius. We are Templars of the Lord Kalak. Nothing we do is innocent. You don't often hear of Kreen serving the Template. You. What's your story? You're doing this for coin?
Aye, slave.
You're her slave. Libidinous elves and abducted halflings are more Corodius's taste.
I had to acquire a bit more muscle after the threats I received. Anyway, as you said, my petty squabbles are
Yes.
not relevant.
Weren't there three of you?
Yes, my hireling should be outside waiting for us. He's not.
Leans forward to see where Matthias is. Matthias, roll a check for traps, please. In fact, no, I roll that for you, don't I? You don't find any.
Oh, muted. Sorry. No, I don't have that skill, so I have find open locks.
Well, then you definitely don't find any.
Yeah. Is it locked? The box.
Yes, it's locked. There's a lock hanging off it. A ceramic padlock.
I will try to open it. God. Yes!
Oh! There is a gentle snick. And the lock pops open.
I go behind the box and gently open it.
It open. A long vellum roll inside. No darts, no poison gas, no sudden surprise Braxat attacks that appears to be untrapped.
Obviously, it's a scroll, yeah. So I stick it into my blowgun, my long blowgun.
Oh right, okay, nice, yes.
And
Clever.
quickly lock it back up and go back to the door.
All right.
And lean up against the outside.
Okay, kind of head back to the door and position yourself just by the outside. As you do so, you can hear voices coming up the stairs.
All right.
Yes, well, I'm back a little early.
Do I recognise the voice?
You never heard it. Corodius, you recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tithian.
Okay.
Calden looks a little surprised. What's he doing back? Stands up, seems to have forgotten all about you, goes to the door, and coming up the stairs with about 4 or 5 Templars and guards behind him is High Templar Tithian, High Templar of the King's Works and the King's Games. A tall, narrow-faced man with a hawk nose, auburn hair tied back in a long tail. He comes to a halt as Calden emerges from his office. Ah, Calden, matters were concluded a little earlier than I thought at the arena. I came back to make sure you had things in... Oh, Chirodius. What are you doing here?
I came to follow up on our conversation that we had earlier pertaining the maps of the ziggurat and the delivery of the obsidian.
I see.
But I'm presuming now that you're back that it all can be handled, right? And I look quizzically at my previous conversation partner.
Calden looks a little bit surprised. Yes, Calden, it's fine. Come, Corodius, I will show you.
Thank you.
And he leads you into the workshop.
Yes, follow her straight behind.
Okay. Can I get another hide in shadows roll from you just to see if they notice you coming in?
Sorry, I thought it was already at the door.
No, you were pressed up against the side of the door, remember?
Oh, God, here we go. This is going to be higher, isn't it?
Dude,
36.
you're on fire. Okay. So as you sweep into the... as Tithian and his entourage sweep into the workshop, you can see Matthias just surreptitiously rejoins you at the back. Tithian gestures magnanimously. So, the fruits of our labor. You've been working very hard to make sure that this comes to its proper conclusion. Have you not, my Lady Carodius?
Absolutely.
He turns toward the little
She
gaggle of
bows.
Templars and guards with him. My Lady Carodius here has been invaluable in completing the construction of the ziggurat. When all matters are said and done here, I hope that you remember her face and name and accord her the respect that someone of her munificence is due. And there's lots of yes, yes, absolutely. Lady Carodius, delighted to make your acquaintance.
She bows and she glows in the praise from Tithian.
Tithian smiles. Well, Carodius, I trust you have what you came for.
Yes, I do, I believe.
Excellent. Good day.
Good day. Good day. And she hurries off.
And he turns back, as if you've forgotten immediately, to discuss matters of brickwork and glaze and such like with his flankies. Tick Tick, Matthias, you go with her?
Yeah, I was just looking at Tick Tick's comment.
For our viewers, it says Tick Tick vomits a little in his mouth.
Yeah, we get out quick.
Tick Tick just follows the group here. Acts guard-like again.
Did that go well?
I'm actually presuming that you did something because you were suddenly gone.
I was there all along. Tick Tick sneezed. I thought we were under attack. I ducked.
Then we don't have what we got for. I thought you had obtained it.
I'm sorry for a sneeze.
That's fine, Tick Tick.
So we have to go back then?
Oh, not right now. There's too many.
No, it's the right person. That's the only person I can get it from that is there now.
I think we just need to get out for now. And I'll just give her a wink.
Ah. Did you say so?
Most
Let's go.
definitely.
With your prize in hands, then, you put the Bureau of the King's Works behind you. In the slave pens, afternoon turns to evening. Valdar, Lisanne, and Wenzer head out the main gates. You catch sight of them disappearing off between the brickyards in the direction of the arena. Vok has you, for old time's sake, making bricks throughout the afternoon. I owe you 3, he says. You've given me a chance at getting something back that I thought was gone for good.
Once we're out of here, you'll owe nothing.
He looks toward you, Ra, and Bengal Mangal. He really doesn't understand gladiators, does he?
Very much so.
If I survive the arena, I will be your man as you need it.
It's very kind of you.
You will remember the name Vok Toresh. Oh,
Oh.
Bengal, no, Bengal, you can make full-size bricks.
Maybe I can't though. They're little Lego bricks.
And so Tim, just tell him outright, like, I appreciate it, and I will always appreciate the you being my man, but I hope that I would never have to call on you. That way, every decision you make after you leave here is your own and not because of someone else.
You should have your own life, your own goals, but you are always going to be our friend.
Thank you. Now, back to work. You're making me look bad.
I'm good at that.
Night
Okay.
falls.
Bengal
Sorry.
continues
Yeah.
making little bricks.
Tiny, the smallest bricks on the
The
cigarette.
tiniest ones.
Tippy is like, these are bricks for ants? Who made these?
And the invention of Lego was made.
This could really be a profit right here.
Be a good business. Or weapon, little do they know.
Night comes, the moons rise and cast their red and gold light over the slave pens. It's teeming with bodies. The mine slaves are more than unhappy at being forced to toil on the ziggurat. There's brawls. Half a dozen bodies are taken out on the first night. Right. Exactly, Grandy. The shadow of Ra, however, as always, keeps anyone who would attempt to push it too far well away. As people start to bed down for the night, finally, Faldar approaches you. He's got a bandage around his injured forehead. He settles down next to you and slides something across the sand. It's a rolled up piece of leather. This is a message for Amber. You can find her at the Drunken Giant Inn on Shadow Square. Now, I know that none of you read, but I've dropped it in Discord, and I'll just pop it on Roll20 for you anyway, because I'm sure some of our viewers can read. It's words scrawled back and forth across a rolled up piece of leather. So I know this is overdue, but I suggest you get underway as soon as you can. Do you want me to get one of you out now?
Yes, Bengal. We'll go now.
Yep, lead the way.
He places his hand on your forehead, another one on the ground. And with deeply cautious movements, you can see his fingers ripple in the casting of a spell. Green light flares just beneath his palm. And you feel a wash of sorcerous energy flood down across your body, Bengal Magal, and disappear from view.
Bye.
Wait by the gates, Valdar says. When the Templars bring the next slaves in or carry the next body out, you slip out.
How many tomorrow?
2.
So it'll have to be, there's 3 of us left, so it'll have to be just Ra, and then the next day, the 2 of us.
Who's the third?
Vok?
Vok said he didn't want to leave. He's hoping to be chosen by the gladiators to join them in the arena.
I'm going to just double check on that. I think he could be more use out there than in here. And during the day, Tin would have a conversation with him, basically double checking that he doesn't want his freedom.
Vok smiles at you. There's only one freedom for me. To stand on my bare feet on the sands, a weapon in my hand. And hear the crowd cry at the shedding of blood.
I just wanted to make sure, and he will just go back to making bricks.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. You've seen bloodshed, and in your heart, you shy away from it. My heart longs for it, Constantine. Longs for it. I've never felt alive, except when I'm on that blood-soaked sand.
Well, then I wish for you to stand on as much of it as possible.
He claps you on the shoulders. Come to the Grand Malay. You will never forget the name of Vok Taresh.
I will be there. I guarantee it.
Morning comes. Valdar, huddled in the darkness of one of the slave shanties, prepares from what appear to be a series of knots, tasseled knots, hanging off the bottom of his slave smock. You can see him rolling them back and forward in his fingers, over and over again, for most of the morning. He pronounces himself ready. And then, out of sight of any of the further guards or slaves, likewise renders you, Constantine, and you, Ra, invisible. Go, he says. Get my message to Amber. I will see you again soon. My work here is almost done.
Thank you.
And you can tell her that Rikus and Neva send her their regards.
We'll do so. We best be off.
He stands and slips away, and as the slaves begin to file out to their workstations, completely invisible, you simply walk out of the gates.
When we're in a quiet place, Ra's just going to bend down to where she thinks Constantine is. I mean, he's invisible, but she can't see anyway, so it's just the same for her.
Well, he's not an idiot. He would have put his hand, like, while they're walking out, his hand would be, like, on your, like, wherever it is he can reach that's not inappropriate. And
I mean, you wouldn't know I'm invisible.
no, well, yeah.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yikes. And so he would keep a hand on you so you'd know where he is.
Yeah. She would lean down and just like, what do you think the note says?
I don't know. Probably something about I love you or something or other.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
sweet. I like that.
It could be. It could also be worse, but let's assume the best. Let's just hope that it's a beautiful message.
He's just writing to his girlfriend. That's all this has been about.
I'm going to think it's a love letter.
As long as it puts your mind at ease. Also, Constantine thinks it's battle plans.
All right. So I presume then you are regrouping at the Sweetwater Inn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume that Bengal's already there.
Bengal took the note, right?
Yes.
Did I?
Okay,
Yes, I
good.
did.
I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't like, "Did you take the letter?" And we're like, "Yes," and it's on the sand.
I thought you
what?
took the letter.
That piece of skin? No. Was that important? So Bengal, you've arrived there that night. Herodias, Matthias, and Tik, you're back there later actually earlier that afternoon.
While leaving the temple, I asked Matthias to tell me a little bit more about that Hurricane lady, though, and maybe if he can point out to me where she went in.
Yeah, she was going into the Bureau of State.
And maybe if we're lucky that he can point her out to me what she looks like.
Oh, she went into the building and you don't see her again.
Okay. So I can assume that we had that discussion, Matthias and me, right? I won't hold up the game for that if that's not relevant.
That's completely fine.
Okay.
I mean, if Matthias just wants to tell you, mind your own business, he can go ahead. But
he's got no issues with telling us.
No. And that lady doesn't know her or her involvement. So.
Did she? She didn't look at me in the eyes when I killed her, did she? So.
Unless you wanted her to do so, no.
It would have been done from the shadows with poison. So.
Yeah, with a large amount of poison.
Yeah.
Yes, Harold. This is a house ruled kind of based on second edition. So no THACO, ascending armor class, and a few other bits and pieces, but effectively yes, second edition. We're super happy to be playing.
It's awesome.
Okay, so
by the way, Tik will have removed anything uncomfortable.
even the hat?
There's no hat.
Yeah.
The tap shoes are coming right off.
Matthias likes the Ponzi
I make sure
stuff.
that he does it, at least keep them whole if we need to make a return visit.
Yes, fair enough.
Matthias likes it.
All right.
That's very nice.
So, back at the Sweetwater Inn, to your delight, you guys have returned from the Golden City intact, but more importantly, Bengal, Ra, and Constantine have made it out of the slave pens.
I say that's a good success.
And I'll tell Matthias, hey, do you still have that shank?
No, I sold it. I have other news, actually.
Oh.
Your beloved lady is somehow alive.
You what?
She's alive. I've just seen her. How is she alive? I don't know. But she's alive.
Have you been hitting the drink?
I
Because
wish.
Where did you see
very
her?
clearly she's dead.
She's definitely not dead.
Did anyone else see her?
She was quite happily walking around and going into Herodias. What did you say? Some office of state?
Yeah, Bureau of State.
Fancy people.
Well,
I
But
don't
what's
know.
she
bad.
doing here then?
No.
Pardon?
What is she doing here then?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Where?
In the fancy tower.
Thanks.
What was she wearing?
Clothes.
What kind of clothes?
Girly ones.
Was it like house colors?
Yeah,
Was
I
it
don't know.
Templar
Did I see?
outfit?
It was not a Templar outfit. It was the sort of fine clothes that you expect from an Urukite noble.
Right.
It was definitely her.
Did she see you?
It would have mattered. She didn't see me on the day, so would it make a difference now?
Right.
So everybody is aware that Matthias did this deed, right?
They probably are now.
Yeah, I'm aware now.
It was never confirmed, but they probably
So
can
yeah,
guess.
so
now.
we have
I
a
have
double
my
revelation here. One, that Matthias kind of admits to having killed the Lady Diamina. But secondly, that he is.
And I go,
Seen her
she's alive! Ta-da!
I know, because I didn't kill her right.
Ra,
Oh,
even
no.
though this has just been like dumped, like Ra just continues on like whatever she was doing, like completely unfazed by the fact of like he's done this. Just completely unfazed.
So the instructions that you got to how to kill her, were there specific instructions?
No.
Most times they don't give instructions on how to kill.
And
They just
how
point the
were
weapon.
you hired? Were you hired for your poison skills?
I was hired through means that doesn't matter anymore.
But
Who
were you hired for
hired
your
you?
poison skills? My point being, if they kind of knew how you were going to kill her,
I was not
they could
connected
have
to it
prepared her
in
for it.
any way, shape, or form.
Huh?
Sadly,
You
the
were not?
person that was connected is no longer with us.
Okay. So you were hired via, basically. You mean?
I was.
Okay.
We were caught, however, but how I don't know. Tipped off, maybe.
Did you confirm kill?
Most definitely.
So you went and you checked whether the body was dead,
Few survived my poison.
unless they have something that helps you survive poison. That's my point exactly.
After
if they
you're
knew
dead,
how you were going to attack her, then it might be in stage to stage her death and then be able to, and she maybe has a role that she's playing over here.
I see.
That's
Yeah,
my point.
Matthias, you were 100% certain she was dead.
She was
You know that
definitely
there are things like neutralized poison and slow poison, and there are ways and means to have antidotes.
don't work after you're
She,
dead.
she,
Well-
she would have. It actually makes sense that she's alive.
I
I
confirmed
mean, here's
the
the
kill.
thing. Regardless of if we
You sure you killed the right
Guys.
person? You all look the same to me.
It was definitely the right person as well, right, Mark?
How much did he
course.
pay you?
Of course, yeah. No, I don't know then. With that saying,
How much did he pay you, Matthias?
and we never got the payment. I can't remember what was the payment. I'm just gonna guess.
Payment was going to be 10 gold.
Payment was 10 gold.
She more than likely she knew that this was coming. She could have faked her death.
Unless I didn't kill her and she wasn't the right person. She was just dressed up as her.
If it was it her husband?
Who hired for the kill? Yes.
Then she probably knew. She knew that you were that she was a target. She's had information about that for some time through means. It explains why we're alive.
We're alive because we escaped.
No, we're not. We're not alive because we escaped. Only an idiot would think that. You killed her. Sorry, wasn't your best job. Two of her best gladiators.
It was clean.
Her we'll say bodyguard and her tactical teacher all happen to end up slaves. All of us have information. We should be dead. We should be dead.
Well, you seem to know a lot of her comings and goings and her what she was doing. Would she have a reason to be here normally?
No, but it
With
makes
the Bureau of
sense.
State?
Because didn't our caravan, wasn't it off track?
Also,
It was, yes.
Yeah, it makes all of us to end up in the same caravan when we all should be dead, that went off the rails. It did not follow the proper course, and we just happened to be attacked by elves, happened to be freed. Too many coincidences. This many coincidences makes it an actuality, not a coincidence. We were specifically put in place. Now, did she know we would all survive? Probably not, but she was probably hoping for a better than average handful.
But what? That she's still your master, and that she's still trying to manipulate you to do something, or what?
No,
It doesn't make sense.
That's a piece I'm.
To me, it's more likely.
Just thought of some of this.
It sounds to me more likely is that she faked her own death and that she actually is a spy for Tyr.
Probably. She probably also knows that we're still alive.
And that's what makes her be in the Bureau of State, because she's reporting back.
Yeah,
it
explains why, or at least the how we're all alive, not the why. The why is what I don't have.
No.
Well, I suppose
because right now everything we've done has been of our own power. Nobody's manipulated us.
If the slave caravan had arrived at whatever destination we were going to, I'm sure we would have known. But then again, we also might have been dead.
Yeah, but it's also highly unlikely. Slave caravans, they generally follow a specific path.
That's what I'm saying. We went off the path, so wherever we were going, that would have been the answer to your question as to why.
Unless it wasn't ever supposed to make it there. The question is, was it supposed to be hit by elves and we escaped, or was it supposed to make it to its destination? We don't know which is which. Right now, we have to assume they're both possibilities.
Well, they just might not have known who did it, and then therefore wanted to try us or something.
So the question is,
I'm still putting it together.
What was the destination?
I don't know what the destination was.
Can you give me a description of what she looks like, as close as you can make?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Constantine would give you a very detailed.
And I will also give a description of what I saw, the person I saw.
Yeah, well, I mean, that matches clearly.
If it, matches up.
Of course, absolutely.
Because it could have just been that you killed a lady that was pretending to be her.
What kind of clothes was she wearing? In the
noble clothes. Is there magics that can disguise someone?
I see that you have an eye for detail when you're wearing your own clothes. I'm sure you had some eye of detail and some memory that you actually can be a little bit more specific on the clothes that she was wearing.
Do I remember what clothes?
Yes, of course. You can describe it as specifically as you like to.
I described that then.
Were these the kind of clothes that she would be wearing at home as well? Do they ring a bell, Constantine?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds just about... Can we get back in there?
We don't want to go back in there.
In the Bureau of State? I don't think that's a wise idea. Well, I could, but you guys, that's going to be difficult. I can bring Matthias and
I'll pass on that one for now.
Because they have an alibi of being there in my compliments, but I'll keep making up stories and bringing more people into the
So it's at this point in your conversation that Malanda arrives at the Sweetwater Inn. Pulls the hood back from her face. Slides into the small nook that you're having a discussion. I am glad to see you all back. Well, do we have what we need?
We do.
Excellent.
What about your mission at the slave pens? I looked at Constantine and stuff. How did that go?
It went well enough. The idiot with the shank tried to start something, but once Vok found out about that, quickly got rid of him. Was amenable.
We've made some good friends, and your man on the inside, well, he's in good hands.
Yeah.
Oh, he's alive.
Oh yeah, I have a piece of skin here from him, and I just sort of hold it out.
I checked to see if she's nibbled on it. Is he's nibbled on it?
No, I would never do such a thing.
That. She looks at it.
There's bite marks all over it.
It's in code. but it's a letter to Amber at the Drunken Giant. That's not far from here. You have the plans?
I do.
We should go.
Tick Tick stands up.
I don't think she means straight away. You can.
No, I do. I mean straight away.
Oh well, and then
go.
Gringal stands up. Then.
Let's get this done.
She slides the letter into her tunic and then stops. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Yeah, what he said.
From there, then, you make your way back to Shadow Square. It is considerably busy at this time of the afternoon. And here, of course, your first memories, Matthias, are that this is the place where Nissa fell. You can actually see the Drunken Giant on the picture of Shadow Square. It's the one with the face of the Drunken Giant on the front. A non-pretentious, busy little wine shop. Your group troop in. Ra, you bowing your head as you get under the lintel. Small alcove-like booths with stone tables, curtains drawn across. Melanda goes over to the bartender. You can hear her mumbling something, catch the name Amber. He looks the rest of you up and down, shrugs, and points towards a curtained-off alcove at the back. Melanda leads you through. Are you trying to say something there, Lee?
Yeah, I didn't want to cut in. Before Matthias goes in, he kneels down to where Nissa died and places one of her feathers.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
that's very nice.
I was going to ask, is there anything in that area that almost like any remnant of Nissa at all? Like,
the sand is stained dark brown where she fell. Scorched still. The flames have been scuffed away, the scorch marks have been scuffed away.
I part some of the earth and place the feather there and put the earth back over.
Okay.
And head in.
Yeah, Ra would just, I mean, would she know exactly where we were?
It doesn't take you long to follow to where Matthias is, through the gaggle of the crowd. Not far from where the Braxat fountain sits. And yes, in fact, he can probably guide you to the right spot.
She would do like a small sign of respect, place her hand on the sand and
for a moment. Sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, just silently paying her respects before moving on. Sorry.
For a moment, you can almost see Nissa's face in your mind's eye. Her entirely untrustworthy smile. Life is fleeting on Athas, and memories of fallen companions even more fleeting. The memory of that face, you hold on to it for as long as you can.
While they're paying their respects, Girodias carefully stands to the side and observes everybody else, basically, to see whether we're being followed, observed, or anything like that?
Yeah, you're being observed. There are people looking at you from all sides. Elves who've trickled out of the Elven Market to Shadow Square to find a few more gullible marks. A couple of Templars on guard. There's the usual one or two half-giants standing around. And seeing you come in, unless you've disguised your Templar robes, they note you, presumably there's some kind of official business, and
Yeah.
nobody interferes any further.
Does Tick fit in the booth?
You will all just about fit in the booth, yes.
Okay.
I can always sit on someone's lap if they
You
need
can
it.
absolutely sit on someone's lap, yes. There is a woman in the booth, sitting alone, drinking a cup of watered-down scuppernong. Long auburn hair, a partial face mask.
How you doing?
And she looks up.
Is this your piece of skin?
Melander is about to be try to earn introduction. She leans forward and just takes it. Sit.
Yes, ma'am.
You've brought a few more than I was expecting, Miranda. Her eyes are indeed amber. Perhaps the cause of her name. Her code name, should I say. They've been of amazing help to me, Amber. We could not... Faldar says as much in his letter.
Oh, it's a letter.
Drinks for all my friends. So the news is not good from Faldar. We're behind schedule. We need to obtain the merchandise for sale as soon as is possible. Is your cell up to the task? Melinda gestures at the rest of you. This is my cell. This is all I have. Faldar is busy. Ethros is dead. Amber looks at all of you, cocks an eyebrow. Preservers? Melinda shakes her head. No, they're not. Warriors, a bard, and
yeah, entertainer.
as she's gesturing toward Carodius, Amber raises a hand. No, I know what she is. Not your best moment of judgment. The protest, Melantha doesn't even bother. So, my Lady Templar, have you proved your worth to us this day?
I don't know. Yes, did we?
Oh, the plans. Yes. Where did I put them? I'll like reach back and slide them out the bottom of me my blowgun.
I like this one.
Place it out. This says temple. This says I've got no idea what I'm talking about, but happy playing around with your plans.
She unfurls them out of sight beneath the stone table. And her desert tan face pales. Obsidian.
They were talking about lots of
paper.
obsidian, yes.
There is obsidian chambers and tunnels beneath the arena, the Golden Tower, and the pyramid.
Why would they need obsidian chambers?
She rolls it up. Defiling sorcery. It is a focus for defiling sorcery of great power. Kalak is planning something terrible. This is... This is terrible news. We have to move fast. Do you think you'd be able to... There's some shouting comes from Shadow Square, actually, at this point, interrupting her. Looking out to the street, you can see the brutish forms of half-giants. And the dark hair and sneer of Templar Darnevudi.
I make myself scarce from these people here.
Striding through Shadow Square right up to the front of the drunken giant. And trotting along beside her is Thibaut.
I strike up a conversation with the barman while they enter.
Okay. Amber, as she sees them drawing near the drunken giant. Were you followed?
She's talking to me.
No, she's talking. You've stepped away to the bar, right?
Yeah.
Were you followed?
We had no reason to be followed.
Who the hell is that halfling?
He belongs to Chirodius.
Damn traitorous Templars! She stands and pulls the curtain across. Step away from the table, she says.
Okay.
Do I see that she's about to do something inappropriate?
You stepped out to the bar. She's pulled the curtain across. You can't see what's going on in the booth now.
Oh, she closes the whole booth. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. At that moment, Darnevudine, and there's Rack with her. He's the head Templar of who has guardianship over Shadow Square. A couple of half-giants and a handful of guards striding to the drunken giant. There! Darnevudine, her finger streaks out towards you. At her side, Thibaut kind of shrinks back. You can see tears welling in his eyes.
Thibaut?
Rack steps forward. Templar Chirodius, you are to surrender yourself to the Bureau of Security. You are under arrest.
On what grounds?
In the booth, Amber squats down and heaves at the table. It comes completely away from the floor, revealing a circle, a hole, and stairs leading down. She looks at the rest of you. I suggest we leave. Your friend has betrayed us.
Matthias jumps down.
She, with tucking the plans under her arm, heads down into the darkness. Okay, quick question to those of you in the booth. Who's going with her? Is anybody staying behind?
Matthias is going with.
Okay, Bengal.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay,
with her.
Ra?
Ra wants to go with, but Ra doesn't have a clue what's going on right now because she can't see.
Because she doesn't know what's happened.
Tin is going and will pull to Ra, like, let's go.
Because she thinks that she's like, and it's like falls to the heart. She's like
There's
trying
a hole. Go down
Time
it.
to go.
Yep.
Okay, so Bengal, you explain to Ra quickly what has happened there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll head
I
down.
want to stay to like help Tebow, but I can't.
Tebow.
Poor
Nobody
Carl.
said anything about Chirodius. They're like,
Yeah,
Tebow.
fuck Chirodius.
And Tick Tick.
Tick Tick follows his clutch mates.
Oh,
Okay.
Aw.
that's when he leaves and goes with Chirodius. They're my clutch.
This is
Okay.
hard because I want to stay. I want to stay for Carl, but the vice doesn't give a crap about Chirodius.
Herodias.
Yes. She posed a question. What do I stand accused of, and on whose authority?
On my authority,
You do not have the authority to accuse a Templar, and you know so.
he looks over toward the half-giants. Well, then they can question your corpse afterwards.
I'm sure that certain people will very be interested in questioning my corpse, considering the things that I am at the moment doing for them. You do not want to mess with me. Trust me.
Darn Evudine smiles. If you're referring to the stuff that you've had hidden in your courtyard, your little friend here has told us all about it. Now,
Oh no.
and Darn Evudine's smirk is I mean, it is beyond punchable. Yeah, right, exactly. Are you going to come quietly? Or will I have the pleasure of animating your corpse? Chirodius, in that moment, a chill breeze wafts up from below the earth, and just for a moment, the curtain to the booth wafts away. A smell of old, moist earth comes to your nostrils. You see, in fact, what Darn Evudine and the others can't see, that there's an escape tunnel beneath the drunken giant. So, what do you do?
You are intent on murdering me here, aren't you? And in an indignated shout, she calls for Kalak to bring down the mists.
Okay, you know what, guys?
Can we do anything as we're leaving?
Let's have an initiative roll, please.
Yes.
No, I'm in the hole. I'm not rolling initiative. I say no.
It's just you don't. If you're running down the hole, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's only someone who actually wants to take an action.
Well, I mean,
Oh no.
wait, hold on.
If
Wait.
Matthias decides to do something, he's got to pass all of us coming down the ladder. He's like, everyone back up.
I have a plan forming in my head.
Okay, but let's roll for initiative first, please.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Just to
I'm
put
rolling.
things in some kind of order. You too, Carl. Right, you most of all, Carl.
Just a quick question. If we're moving, what do we roll for that? Because that's not a weapon.
Just make a straight D10.
Oh, just a D10.
It's
Cool.
just to put things in order of when they happen. You're not required to take actions.
Mine all depends on my initiative. Oh god, that was just not good.
An 11. Rah, 5.
Can I?
7.
Wait, where do I roll it again? I don't know how to. Oh well, okay, just straight D10, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just rolling because I have
Yeah.
to.
Wait, how do I do it?
Just
Is it R/?
slash R.
Yeah,
Slash
/R space 1 D10.
Oh, there we go. I forgot the
Alternatively,
space.
there's a little menu on this on
Nah,
the.
screw buttons. There we go.
All right, there you go.
Screw things, that'll make things easy.
And Constantine, I don't have one from you yet, or have I missed it? Oh, you have a 9. There we go. And Chirodius, did I see yours?
Yeah, I'm looking for the spell. I can't find it in my list. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna roll something with a similar initiative, yeah?
Yeah, that's cool.
I think it's...
I gotta ask, is this her normal getup or is it torn?
There's
Is she always just unbelievably sexy like that all the time?
Yeah.
She's not flexing her quads at the moment. 10. God, that's awful.
Matthias knows what he's doing later.
Reading a book.
Yes.
With pictures in it.
Doing research.
Okay. You go racing down into the darkness. Cool air envelops you. All right? Stuff brushes across your face like cobwebs. Ra, you're certain you can feel something crawling under your tunic at your back. You battered it. There's nothing there. Just this strange gossamer-like stuff brushing across your face. The stairs are caked with dust. Ra, you're aware of it more than the others. There is a precipitous drop off to the right-hand side. And every now and then your feet kind of shuffle and stumble on the dust. Amber calls up behind you. Slow steps, steady steps. We'll be at the bottom shortly. Do not rush. Do not stop.
Okay, thank you.
Melinda, you can hear her breath. Calm the hell down. This is Undertier. Undertier is haunted. Yeah, so calm the hell down.
Haunted?
Haunted.
So,
No one's heard anything about
Fungal,
haunted.
presumably just heading downward?
Well, can I be at the back of everyone? Can I be like, I'm gonna wait until everyone's down the
You're
hall.
gonna squeeze your little halfling self against the wall and let them pass you.
Yes, I'm gonna be at like the top.
And you're
You
just
know, like-
holding, are you?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Ra, are you just heading on down the stairs?
Ra was heading down until her haunted stopped for a second until someone like probably climbs down onto her. Like, okay, and then we'll keep going down. Considered not doing it for a second because screw that.
Tick tick. Heading down? Just moving?
Yeah, I'm for now. I'm moving down.
Okay. Constantine,
Nothing.
likewise?
Depends on how much I heard of the above. And did I hear haunted?
You will have heard haunted, yes.
If not
Well-
from her, from Ra going haunted.
Haunted, yeah. And then I see Bengal just kind of be like, stop dead there. Sadly, I'm going to have to wait. This Bengal went down before Constantine. I am going to wait until.
Well, I
get
mean,
to-
the way that I envision it is that like Bengal goes like last out of everyone, so he's
oh,
not.
so
like,
you just
in the
waited
way.
until myself and Ra
Okay.
went
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
yeah.
and then followed. Yeah, I have to say, at haunted, I'm definitely going to pause my action.
You're pausing, you're holding as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's haunted.
right.
I have arrows. Haunted. What?
Okay. At that moment, Templar Rack pulls his blade, runs his hand along it, and with long, low syllables, invokes flame in the name of Kalak. You saw him do this in the marketplace. His obsidian sword catches fire. Don Evudine looks at him and then looks at the half-giants. Kill her! Kill her now! The half-giants come lumbering towards you, weapons raised. Herodias, if you start casting now...
No, it is including the casting time.
This is including the casting time.
Yeah.
Okay, right, then your spell goes off. And what is it? Wall of fog, coat of mist?
Obscurement, yeah.
Obscurement, okay, right. So, mist boils up from the ground around you. The half-giants, you can hear them stumbling around inside it. One of them crashes into the bar. The other one stumbled over a table. A move action?
Yeah, my move action is to dive for the escape route that I found.
Okay, U-turn and run. And finally, Matthias.
He's got his fine blowgun out, and as it's obviously closing, is Herodias coming down the same one?
You see Herodias running through the pushes the curtain to one side, and she makes a beeline straight for the hole in the ground.
I'm like, oh, I thought you might join us, and I fire 2 darts, poison darts at the what's her face?
You can't see her because of the mist that's risen up around the.
Oh, has it got everyone? Oh.
Yeah, it kind of fills Feels like
Okay,
under the wine
I
shop.
will
I was
leave with her.
I
then.
was holding my action. Can I still
Yes,
use it?
hold on. I'm just finding out what Matthias is doing. What were you doing?
If I can't see anyone, then obviously I won't do that, and I will just head down
Okay, Bengal.
and make sure
Okay,
it's shut behind
so-
us.
Obviously there's fog over everything now, but from where I remember Tebow being the last time I saw him, can I have a stealth thing? So can I use it to run over to him and see him and be like, come with me if you want to live, and then take him to the hall.
What stealth thing do you have?
It's the
Halfling stealthy ability.
yeah. Does that do anything? I don't know.
That allows you to sneak up on people.
Right.
So that's not the same as.
Can I use it to sneak past them?
You won't need to if they're obscured.
Or, they can't see me, so can I just run to get Tebow?
Spot on, 5. Okay. 1 + 4. Your bonus is 4.
I will cover.
All right.
Bengal.
So you spend your action crawling through the fog and appear just behind the table. And you say to Tebow, "Come with me."
Yeah.
He squats down. It will be like you said. When she's dead, I'll be free.
You can be free now if you come with me. This is freedom right here.
They're going to kill you all.
No, they won't.
I don't know.
Look at me. Tebow, look at me and trust me. We're gonna be okay.
Right. Okay.
Come. And I
he,
grab his hand, his little tiny halfling hand, and I run to the hole.
Okay. As you leave, you see another figure stride into the inn behind the rest of them. You're the only person who sees him.
Who is it? Wait.
Tall, haggard fellow in a very
he's so
fashionable
ugly.
hat with a leather mask hanging from his face. He's not doing that to any lizards, but yeah, that's who you see.
He's a
I
happy
don't
looking
like
chap.
it. Wait. He's... Never mind.
Okay, and Constantine, so Bagal and Tebow appear out of the fog. Seconds later, they're racing down the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Constantine, are you gonna follow them?
If everybody's running wholeheartedly down this, he'll grab onto Ra and be like, "Let's go!" And it's you can tell he's like sort of nudging. He doesn't want to go, but begrudgingly into the haunted pit.
Go into the haunted undercity. Okay. Down the stairs you head. You estimate that you have a couple of minutes head start. Yes.
I'd like to drop some caltrops on the stairs up behind me.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, you litter a handful on the stairs behind you.
Yeah. Obviously, I was waiting for Bengal and that, so.
Yes. And down to the darkness.
Wants to do as well something.
Yes. Go ahead.
An entanglement spell. Also in the darkness of the stairs.
Okay. Nice. So that'll go to 4 rounds. All right. The energies of the cosmos swirl through you, and you hear, actually, it's from above you, the subterranean plants I erroneously referred to earlier on, comes erupting down from the ceiling. There's huge beds of this strange, gauzy, film-like material, and it comes spiraling downward in great tendrils to entirely entangle the upper quarter of the stairs. With a barrier of caltrops and entangling vines, you proceed down into the darkness. You can hear shouts and yells from further up above. Someone shouting, "Hack at it, hack at it." Another one, presumably Rack's voice, "Stand aside, my flame will do the rest." And then down into the gloom you go. You reach the bottom of the stairs about a minute later. At first you think they're trees. Rows and rows of them. But they're columns. Immense columns rising out of the earth as some vast cavern beneath the city. They go upwards, out of sight into the darkness. Their tops obscured by this strange glowing curtain of thin vines and tendrils. They look like they're made of stone, or feel like they're made of stone, but they have the grains in them of wood. And odd kind of marks, as if water has receded away from them over time. Tide marks up their length. Amber is counting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 to the left. She moves 1 column, 2 column. 50 straight ahead. Stay close. What is this place? Melander asks. In ancient days, Tyr was in a swamp. These are pylons. They raised the city up above the swamp. Our destination is on the far side. That's round 2. You can, in the darkness behind you and up a height, see fire burning.
How are we seeing in the dark, by the way?
Some of you have infravision. Those of you who don't, such as Melanda,
And
she
Tipsy?
she conjures a simple ball of witchlight, little more than a cantrip, enough to illuminate a few feet around her. Put that out, Amber says. I can't see anything. That's a beacon.
Everybody
can't
hold hands.
Anything, Melanda hisses.
Hold
Listen
hands.
to the half.
Follow me.
Join hands. Look, if your half giant can manage it, the rest of you can. Is that what you do?
Yeah. I let people follow me.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll use my antenna and try and get as much of my
Yeah,
environment.
you
with
don't
other
suffer.
senses.
Yes, you don't suffer great darkness patterns because of those. And Amber, well, a half elf, can see perfectly well in the dark.
Herodias, even though she's human, can still see perfectly, apparently.
Yes, Lucan, you are going to encounter a Balrog of Morgoth.
The hallowed halls of Dwarrodelf.
Yes.
Don't worry, guys. Gandalf will show up.
Ahead through the forest of pylons you move. Underneath, the ground is fine sand, almost like silt. And up ahead, you begin to see lights. Faint, rosy lights. It's round 3. Voices call. Be careful! Tread lightly! What are these things? Be careful! Again. Ground level. The Templars have reached the bottom of the stairs. But the Caltrops and the entanglement and your precipitous movement, you think you have a good 4 minutes head start on them. Ahead, the forest of pylons thins out and the ground begins to descend. And now you can see where the light is coming from. A building. There is a building down here. Broad steps leading up to it. An area of open ground with some strange subterranean plants on it. Columns leading up to a great door. And from the windows of this building, rosy light spills forth. You can see the windows are stained glass. Winged forms, the lower halves of their bodies serpentine, holding great weapons with helmeted heads. Before Tyr was a swamp, this was its heart. The old city was built around this temple. This is the Crimson Shrine. And Amber turns to face you. Here you will be tested. And I will see whether I can truly trust you with what comes next. She looks into the darkness behind you. Come, we best hurry. You move forward toward the shrine. Up its steps, and toward the great doors. And through the door, and I don't mean it opens and closes, but quite literally phasing through the door, a figure steps forward, his body shimmering with red light. A great and powerful warrior, he seems, holding a broad polearm across his chest. I don't know which one of you guys those pictures are supposed to be, but they're all wearing pretty cool hats, you have to admit. Amber strides up to him, bows her head, and he raises the polearm out the way. And behind him, the door swings open, revealing the interior of the shrine. You can see in there candles burning, hundreds and hundreds of candles. Come on, they won't be able to follow us in here.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Might as well. We're already in the haunted basement. You know, might as well just go into the haunted room and sprawl it out.
You traipse up the steps, passing one by one through the doors, until Corodius. As you step forward, the Crimson Knight's head snaps towards you. He steps forward and bars your way. Amber looks back over her shoulder. What? No, what? In the darkness beyond, you can see what appear to be little torchlights as the Templar party draws ever closer. What have you done?
What have I done?
You're transgressing some ancient law.
What law? Can we
Well,
figure out what law?
I don't know. Only the pure of heart may enter here.
Pure of heart. What is a pure of heart? What does that mean?
Melander's head hangs. The slaves. You keep slaves, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Sadira's Amber's eyes narrow. Whoops.
Ooh,
I've been trying so hard. Okay. Amber's eyes narrow. You brought a slave owner here? Templar, yes. But you personally own slaves?
Tipo. And my two elves that live with me.
Then you can meet your fate. And Amber turns and walks into the Crimson Shrine.
Oh.
Melander looks in horror. Corodius, I didn't know. I've never been here. I didn't know about this.
Release the slaves.
That's one round.
Um,
They're a few minutes away now, maybe 2 or 3 minutes away.
I'll figure out a way then. Take care of Thibaut.
Of course.
Okay. As she turns around because clearly there's no other way. Is there an exit beyond this here? Or is this all leading towards this exit here?
You look around, the darkness recedes as far as you can see. I mean, you've heard tales of Undertier, a ruined city beneath the city. An endless, sprawling maze of fallen catacombs and lost basements and hidden vaults. Okay, while Corodius is scanning the surroundings, what are the rest of you doing?
She's not going to waste any time. She's going to get the hell out of there. Yeah.
I'm just finding out what they're doing.
Okay.
Thais would just look and say.
You're going to head into the... Oh, carry on.
Thais would just look and say, Good luck.
I'll need it.
And maybe after, if you survive, you would think twice before owning a goddamn slave.
Matthias, Bengal, are you heading into the shrine with that?
Yep.
Ra?
Yeah, I'll head in the shrine.
Tick Tick? Constantine?
Yep, heading in with Ra.
One after the other, until it is only Tebow standing at the doorway, fiddling with the little silk tunic you bought him.
Go, darling. Go, before they catch you.
I just wanted to see the trees.
I forgive you. It's fine. Go. Go.
He turns and hurries into the shrine. The great doors slam shut. Carodius, what do you do?
The ground here, what's the ground made of?
Silt.
Silt. Okay. And the corridors, are they lined with walls? What am I seeing? What's the layout?
Okay, hold on a second.
She's looking at the moment to see whether she can burrow her way out and hide behind the wall somewhere. And
this is the immediate surroundings. And I will I'll grab your token. Where are you? There you are. There you go. You see yourself?
Yeah, see myself.
Okay, so that's the entrance to the shrine right here.
Mm-hmm.
These are the columns on either side. Stone rising out of the silt and all this kind of weird purpley goopy stuff. This is the silty floor of the cavern with a few strange underground plants in other directions. This is Darren Evelyn and your friends approaching, and in all directions around this, it's cavernous darkness. You can see what appear to be other ruined buildings. Back behind them is the pylon forest through which you guys came.
Okay. So the trail leads to this door here. I cast Pass Without Trace on myself here.
Yes.
And then I immediately slink off, and I'll do it as quickly as I can and run in the darkness along the side of the temple and past it away.
Okay, initiative, please.
Where am I? Here I am. Pass Without Trace. Come on, where's the spell? With this little small screen. Here we got it. Initiative. There we go.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she has to.
Yep.
So she's not wasting any time because she needs to get out of there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And she will hide in the shadows if she can around the corner.
Yes. And you start casting on a. Let's have a look there.
But this is including the spell.
Yeah. But you start casting on a 10.
Yeah, it's a Pass Without Trace. It's one round.
Yep. All right.
Oh,
that's next round that goes off. Oh, okay.
That's why.
All right. Well, in that case, it's while you're even preparing for the casting. It goes on 8, in fact. A few seconds before you begin the spell, there comes out of the darkness the sound of a thunderclap. And briefly you see him, this gentleman right down here.
Yeah.
He's actually in the air, about 30 feet in the air. And around him, defiling energy is rushing up into his body. A blackened circle of ash on the ground, the sound of a thunderclap, and a lightning bolt leaps into being at the beginning of the steps and streaks across the intervening ground. Saving throws against spells, please.
Where do I find those? Character sheet, right?
It's on the same page as the attributes.
Attributes.
And you can add your dex bonus to it if you want.
Yeah, that's 1. Okay. Spell. So it's a +1 or -1 I do?
For the dex,
Yeah.
it's +1.
So I type in +1, right?
Yep, or just 1.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's a save. So you only take 21 points of damage. Yeah, that was a 42-point lightning bolt.
Yeah. There's
Because
nothing I
it's
can do
defiant.
about that.
No. Then you begin the spell. Sorely injured. And out of the darkness, the arrows come.
Can I see her then?
Apparently.
First, yeah, she's at. Don't forget the. There's.
I thought they were further away than this, but there you go. They were not.
There's light emanating from the temple. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What's his name? Dretmar Payne actually has haste.
Yeah.
There's, as I said, light emanating from the temple, that kind of ruby light. However, at this range, the first 2 arrows from the first guard fly sideways of you, Corodius. Second 2 likewise miss. There's a 19. Spell is disrupted. No point rolling anymore. The shaft takes you through the chest. You cough. You actually see your own blood sputter up from your mouth and slump sideways. In the darkness, out of the darkness, should I say, Darnefudine strides toward you. Don't go in there, a voice calls from the floating mage. Consciousness slips away from you, Corodius. His voice seems horribly distorted. Darnefudine drops to one knee beside you, cups your bloody face in her hands. Oh, I don't need to. I have everything I need right here. And then darkness overcomes you. Within the Crimson Shrine, candles burning in all directions. Very small bricks, yeah. You hear the detonation of a thunderclap outside. Melinda just buries her face in her hands. For a moment, Sidira Amber turns. I'm just going to give up on this. Amber turns as if to justify it, and shakes her head. Introductions, she says. My name is Sidira.
I know you've told us twice.
In case the DM hadn't fucking given it. I'm sorry for your friend, if friend she was. We are safe here. The Crimson Raids will protect us. There are 4 of them by the gate, by the doors. Translucent, wraithly forms, crimson light wafting in and out of their bodies. Around you on multiple tiers, all these candles. Designs, the same figure shown over and over again. Helmeted head, torso, serpentine lower body. A lost god of the ancients. A mythical figure. An old sorcerer king, who can say? I would have brought you here sooner or later, Sidira says. The Crimson Test is the final test of loyalty that the Veiled Alliance has. Malanda has spoken very highly of you. But I have to be sure. The Crimson Wraiths never lie. She's told you I understand what we're planning.
To kill Kalak. First things first, though, I look to the group and say, I'm pure of heart, guys. Just trying to earn the trust. But
well, if barred you are, it's clear the Crimson Knights do not see murder as an unworthy act.
Or not commit murder.
I'm with Tick Tick on this one.
You're right. We're going to kill Kalak the Tyrant. There's a weapon. It has been grown for this precise purpose. Its name is the Heartwood Spear.
Well, you give that to us, Awful Pop, and take care of the thing.
This was to be the last assignment for Malanda's cell. To journey to Korana, to see Nock, and acquire the spear.
You mean Nock as in the Nock?
I suppose it should not surprise me that a halfling has heard of him.
how are we meant to get close to this Kalak? I've never seen him. Has anyone else? Have you? I looked at Amber.
Once, I saw him touring the ziggurat. I was in the company of my master, my old master, High Templar Tithian. I was his slave. Constantine, no, you've never seen him.
You get free.
Yes, I did.
How?
A pair of gladiators in Tithian's stables helped me escape. Rikus? Neva?
The gladiators from the slave pit.
Oh, you've seen them?
Yes. Several of us have. We've spent time there.
Well, that's how we're going to kill Kalak. We're going to get the spear. We're going to smuggle it back in. And a gladiator is going to stick him with it during the grand melee.
Sounds good.
So, my question for you then is this. Can I rely on you?
Who knows, I
Will
guess.
you journey to the forest ridge?
It sounds like it'll be a fun journey, so why not?
We've got nothing else to do.
Are we going to be allowed to go and get our mounts? Or is that a big no-no right now?
Well, I think it would be unkind to expect you to walk. Have any of you ever been beyond the Ringing Mountains? She gestures toward Bengal. Apart from you.
No.
Tebow tugs at your sleeve, Bengal. Wait, does she mean go to see the trees?
Yeah.
And
Karana
other
and Forest
halflings?
Ridge.
What's Karana?
It's a big halfling place. Lots of them in the Forest Ridge.
So I did the right thing then.
Yeah, you did. You'll see
World debatable.
your family.
She said she forgave me. That you forgive someone when they've done a bad thing.
Her reasons for forgiving you, they're her own. But what's important is that she did give you forgiveness, and you're free now.
Just don't do it again.
Yeah, that too.
Which part? Getting a bunch of people killed or potentially killed or becoming a slave again?
All of the above.
I meant the betrayal side of it.
Yeah, let's stop with that.
We
Tebow's
No offense to you,
small-brained.
little man, but I don't trust you as far as I could throw you right now.
Yeah, we probably don't want to go to the halfling village, though, do we? I mean,
Well,
I don't want to stay for dinner or anything. But
I mean,
Did
if
you do something there, Matthias?
no, I've never been there.
Oh, then we should mostly be fine.
if we're going to see Knock, right, then we're gonna have to.
How do I put... Bengal is incredible. He's an amazing fighter. Seems like a great person and becoming a good friend. But Tin, do you know much about halflings?
I know what I need to know.
Oh, if you're worried about that, no,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. You guys,
Sure.
you're not gonna get
Green eat though.
right.
I understand. Tick people eating.
I
Anyway,
guarantee-
it was on my mind.
No, you don't have
What-
to be worried.
What do they
It sounds like we
do?
should be worried.
No, it's fine. You
Eat.
have my protection.
What do they eat?
You?
Raj.
Everything.
You'd last them a week.
Other halflings, humans, elves, the Kreen, half giants.
Hungry little fellas. What's that, dwarf?
I think me. You just go talk to him and.
Oh,
you
no.
wait.
No, you guys. Yeah, you're worrying for nothing. Okay.
We're big meals at this point.
Yeah,
That's
but
Banquet.
I mean, let's be honest. I've been with you guys for how long now, and I haven't eaten you.
You've nibbled on me a few times.
Yeah, but that's like different.
It's like a friend.
No, that doesn't sound different at all.
We weren't going to talk about that, Ra.
It does not sound different at all. That sounds exactly like what we're worried about.
No, it's fine. It's great.
No, let's go. Nobody leave your weapons behind, and we'll go. And if anybody tries to take a bite out of you, we deal with it.
Probably going to go on a diet on the way there, so I don't look so appetizing.
If hypothetically, Bengal, an average person, an average halfling, how many do you think we could take?
Well, Karana's one of the larger halfling settlements, and I should probably warn you that halflings themselves, they're not... Well, a lot of them are quite close, if that makes sense. They don't really appreciate outsiders too much. But we have a mission, and it is a good one, and I think that maybe we might be able to swing something. Especially with Nock. He's wise, he's powerful, and...
Probably hungry.
Well, nah, he's probably very well fed, in fact.
Well, we'll just bring them lots of food then.
Yeah.
We are, it turns out.
Well, I can see that the future of the city-state of Tyr is in good hands, Sadira says. She looks to Melander. Anything? Melander has been at the door, kind of just peeking it out. They've gone. They took her. If she's alive... Sadira nods. I suggest you gather your belongings and your mounts and be away from Tyr as quickly as you can.
That sounds very appealing.
Kalak himself will soon know your names.
Well, if no one else has a problem with it, I say let's get out and go to Karana.
Sure.
Yep, and then on the way we can be cooked.
You're worrying for nothing.
We go.
Trust me, I got it all under control.
Sorry, Tic Tic, what was that?
We go.
Yes, let's...
Go now.
What, right now?
Maybe one or two of us get the mounts and meet the rest outside the city, so we don't look too ridiculous, call too much attention, or potentially maybe less of us die.
So with that agreement and that assent, we will draw a close on tonight's episode.